Okay, we're doing this shit all the way over fucking WandaVision style. So we're gonna act like we rewinded it in the first stream where I didn't dox myself. At least I hope I didn't dox myself. We're gonna act like that shit didn't happen. We're gonna restart the episode like I just almost did. Then I'm gonna play part of the fucking song. Then I'm gonna stop it, do my fucking intro, do the fucking show, and then play the rest of the song at the end. Okay? Okay. Starting the fucking show. Okay, I'm gonna play a fucking song. I'm gonna mute my fucking mic. If that motherfucker doesn't play, you motherfuckers tell me. No, I wasn't fapping. I was rapping. So I'm gonna shut up so you can hear me rap.
Vigilante Williamson here. With Jay Marvelous on the track, man. You living up to your namesake. This beat is marvelous, man. Wowzers. Coming live from the apocalypse before the cataclysm, cycling through this bondage's coping mechanisms. In what way will I make myself sick today? Crippled from my way, but I'm still ordering Chick-fil-A, trying to read the scriptures more and not forget to pray. Don't take for granted the breath of life that you get today. Even if you suicidal as shit today, it's a way as I get lifted to sit in place. We all running a different race at a different pace. Never had success, but if I get a taste, I'ma just chill. That's being real. Make sure the fam never need for a meal. On the straight and narrow for the green. Stephen Mill, nowhere when a meal. No need for a bill, but still, my people Leonardo, Raphael, teenage mutant ninjas out here catching shells. Splinter away from rats, lest ye catch a L. Super shred your head up, people diesel when they fed up. Land of the Wolverines, Logans run away from hell. Sinister magicians got the world in the spell.
Okay, that's about half. So we winded WandaVision style, and then now it's time for the intro. Vigilante Williamson here with the 26th episode. The second time. The second attempt of my 22nd episode. And how are you doing? It is, as I try to look through this mask. What time is it? What date is it? The 28th. Good Lord, time flies. It is January 28th, Thursday, January 28th. And hell again, I saw a lot of you guys in the first attempt of the stream. I didn't dox myself. At least I don't think I did. I deleted the video off YouTube anyway and off Twitch. I don't think it's going to show up on D Live, but if it does, I'll delete it there. But I checked, and basically the reason I stopped the stream a second ago was because my folders showed up, and my real name is one of the my user folders and shit. I don't see that it was actually visible, but I couldn't check the video. But I can't risk it, so I'd rather stop, delete, and restart, and just do everything WandaVision style. So thank you. I see everybody saying hi to each other in the chat. I appreciate. I usually don't start off with this many people, so thank you, everyone. Thank you, Jake D. No, I wasn't fapping. I was rapping. Slasher McSplitter. What up again? And Fenrir, the Ice Wolf, and of course Captain Trek. How is everyone doing? I appreciate you guys. Jordan, we have a ton of shit to talk about. I already lost somebody already. We have a ton of shit to talk about. I mean, just to. If you look at the tabs, I have how many tabs? One. Some of these are two for the same story, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-ish, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 stories plus some good news at the end. So yeah, so we have a lot to get into. Just saying greetings. Hey, I'm not gonna. You mean your real name isn't V-Dub? Don't believe it. Okay, don't. I'll keep my secret identity safe. So yeah, we have a lot to talk about. We have to talk about our evil government stopping us from getting over on something the fucking evil people at hedge funds get over with all the time. We got to talk about some sick motherfuckers talking shit to Zack Snyder. Also got to check in on the evil white fools. But first, we have to talk about the most important story in the day. Robot penises. Paul Bettany says Joss Whedon apparently wanted Vision to have a penis, Dr. Manhattan style. Despite his untimely death and Avengers Infinity War, Vision, Paul Bettany, is once again sharing the screen with Scarlet Witch, Elizabeth Olsen, and Marvel's WandaVision on Disney Plus, which I will do. I'm actually going to do episode 3 and 4 together since I waited so long for 3. And that Batwoman video it's only going to be one video. I can't cover the series, and you'll understand the video. That's coming though. Anyways, while speaking with Barstool's Light Camera Pod, Bettany dropped a rather interesting tidbit regarding Vision's first appearance in Age of Ultron. According to Paul Bettany, Avengers Age of Ultron writer-director Joss Whedon really wanted Vision to have a penis in the scene in which he first appears or is first born, but found little support from anyone else because they have fucking logic. I know that Joss Whedon apparently really, really wanted, and I'll play the video clip if it doesn't fuck up. Really, really wanted to have a rendition of when Vision was first born before he was clothed. He was like, he's got to have a penis, Bettany said. And everyone, Kevin and Louis, meaning Kevin Feige and Louis D'Esposito, everybody was like, I don't know, Joss, I'm not sure. While I doubt that Joss or Vision's penis was ever going to be seen front and center in the PG-13 superhero movie, Whedon insisted that Vision had a penis and demanded concept art of Vision's endowment upon being fuck me, this guy is weird. Upon being presented with the fruits of his vision, no pun intended, Paul Bettany said, Whedon admitted, yeah, I'm 100% wrong. I don't need to see any of these. Yeah, so let's don't do that to me, motherfucker. Let's actually hear Paul Bettany talk about it himself. Hopefully the sound works. Oh, Jesus. Come on. Motherfucker. Okay, this is just one of those streams that a vigilante goes through. Holy smoke. See what's going on with the chat. So what's going on in this crazy dumpster fire we have called the world? Well, the robot penises that Joss Whedon wanted are the least of our worries. Good news. You went long on GameStop and sold $350 a share. I wish. My brother went pretty long and he's got a bunch of Dogecoin. I only got in on a little Nokia. So we'll see what happens. Robot penis. Why? Because Joss Whedon is out of his fucking mind. So I think this video will load.
I know that Joss Whedon apparently really, really wanted the rendition of him when Vision first is born, before he's clothed. He was like, he's got to have a penis. And everybody, Kevin and Louis, and everybody was like, I don't know, Joss. I'm not sure. He has to have a penis. I want to see some drawings of penises and actually somewhere that is the rendition of Vision's birth with these penises, and they put them all up on the wall.
Super bad.
And they all went in and they sat down and just went, yeah, I'm 100% wrong. I don't need to see anything.
Oh God! You know something? When I first heard this story, we don't need to hear it. When I first heard the story, you know what I thought of? I thought about Ray Fisher, and I thought, even if he's fucking Cryboard, this Joss Whedon motherfucker is a weird motherfucker, man. Straight up. Even if you think he's full of shit, I don't think he's full of shit. I think he's spinning shit. But shit like this makes you just like, man, everything with Joss Whedon ain't quite right. So if you remember why robot penises, because Joss Whedon is a sick motherfucker. I know a lot of you love Buffy. I know a lot of people love the Avengers movies. Hell, like the first one. Joss Whedon has a screw loose. Can't stay for too long. Got to go. Peace. But I wish you a great stream, bro. No problem, man. You're here all the damn time. I hope you have a great rest of your day, whatever time of day it is, in Angola, which I do not know offhand. It could be late. So, yeah, it's okay, man. Thank you for being here at all. We appreciate you, man. But yeah, just want to start off with something, believe it or not, light, because it's going to get heavy. Like I said, we have a bunch of stories to cover. I will talk. Oh, yeah, she does lose her accent from Age of Ultron. No one even cares. I will talk about WandaVision later in the week, probably Saturday. But for right now, yeah, that's fucking nuts. Clearly, he's into dong. Just let the man have what he wants. Yeah, he's into something, man. He's a weird motherfucker. Speaking of weird shit, and it's next week. I ain't watching the Super Bowl. And this ain't the first Super Bowl I haven't watched. I remember actually that Super Bowl that the Patriots came back on the Falcons. I was barely watching. And I remember that comeback. I remember because I knew how bad the Falcons were just as a team. I had never believed in them any time. And then they finally made them like they're going to choke. And then after that very first touchdown, the Patriots got in the second half like the Falcons are going to lose. I already knew. And then they fucking collapsed. But that's probably one of the last Super Bowls I actually watched. And that was only passing. I had already stopped giving a fuck about the Super Bowl. Stop giving a fuck about football. Football has been dying for me for years. Ever since really Calvin Johnson retired. I'm a Detroit Pistons. Look at me. A Detroit Lions fan. I'm a Detroit everything fan, unfortunately for me. And when Calvin Johnson retired, that hurt, especially knowing the fucking things with his concussions that weren't diagnosed. And seeing the game get softer where every fucking quarterback in the league over the past 5 years, the worst quarterback has numbers better than the best quarterback from 15, 20 years ago because of the inflated numbers. Like football was already on the outs, and then it went woke. And it's getting woker and woker and woker by the day. And one of the worst parts of the whole woke story, and this is not about a Super Bowl team. In fact, it's about a team that's almost in Lions territory, but they have a great quarterback. The Houston Texans and Deshaun Watson. And what the real issue is what happened. What Deshaun Watson is doing is not isolated. Hell, it's old as sports itself. Good player on a bad team, he wants to leave. Wants to leave his team. Fucking Wilt Chamberlain in the 60s forced to trade. You know what I mean? This is as old as sports itself. And normally, this would just be a quarterback wanting a trade or a player wanting a trade. Something that happens in all sports. It happens all the time. But of course, it's 2021. So Deshaun Watson and everybody else, it has to be woke. And the funniest part is, it doesn't matter. See, I'll read the story and then I'll give my feedback. 3 long weeks ago, when rumors began circulating that Houston Texans superstar quarterback Deshaun Watson was upset with the team and interested in being traded, we examined his potential value, market suitors, generated some hypothetical trade packages for the 25-year-old. We also cautioned then that Watson had not formally requested a trade and that a swap involving the second highest rated passer in NFL history at that age, wow, would be unprecedented. Yeah. Obviously. And Watson has indeed made that formal request. Houston's decision to hire Dave Coley as his new head coach has not and will not alter Watson's thinking. Now, why is that relevant? Well, Dave Coley is a black man, to quote Stephen A. Smith. And Deshaun Watson doesn't say this in this article, but his reason for supposedly wanting to trade was that there was the GM was hired and he wasn't black and he wanted a black head coach. Now, that wasn't really the reason he wanted to be traded. He had legitimate gripes with the way Bill O'Brien, who was the former GM and coach, he traded away a bunch of good players, namely one of his number one receivers. Fucking his name escapes me at the moment. But the organization it was kind of a shit show. They done a lot of things that were shitty. He has a right to want to trade. It's the making it a racial issue. And then again, it doesn't even fucking matter because even after they hire David Coley as a head coach who wasn't qualified, I'm just going to be fucking honest. He wasn't qualified to get this head coaching job. There are other black coaches more qualified than him, namely Eric Bieniemy in Kansas City. But this guy got the job. Just to appease this guy who was only using that for internet clout. He never gave a fuck about the color of the coach. He just wanted to leave Houston. And that's fine. But he has to hide behind wokeness. This is Very similar. Oh my, just stream brain. There was a similar situation where somebody was using wokeness as an excuse when it really wasn't an excuse. I can't remember. He wants to go to a worse team than the Texans. I forgot. They want to go to like the Dolphins or some shit. New York Jets. Who? This is crazy. But yeah, he wants to be traded out of Houston. And again, I have no problem with a superstar wanting to be traded out of a team. I do have a problem with race being used when it's not relevant. And I think it's ironic that they hired this coach just because he was black, even though there are better black coaches, like I said. And it's not going to matter. He still wants to be traded. And as Slash McSplitter say, I want to say it is Miami. He wants to get traded to some team. Who knows? He's a I'm not going to talk as much shit, even though I hate people using wokeness when it doesn't apply. I mean, it doesn't apply ever. But I hate when motherfuckers use race when it doesn't apply. You just want to negotiate with your team or get to a better situation. Do that on his own. Don't fucking hide behind race. The Jets, yeah. Why the fuck would he want to go to the Jets instead of Houston? That makes no fucking sense. I wanted the Bears to fire Nagy and grab Bieniemy. I'm sure I spelled that wrong. Yeah, Bieniemy is a hard name to spell. But yeah, somebody made the actually I think it might have been John Matrix from Black and White Sports. Shout out to him. And said something like the wokeness is the reason the worst rated passing offense, because the guy who got hired, he's a passing coordinator for the Baltimore Ravens. And I don't know if sports ball, I know sports ball, everybody's not a sports ball fan. But the Baltimore Ravens quarterback is known for running. They're a run first team. They're not good passing. Why would you hire him as your coach? And again, Aaron Bieniemy, who is the offensive coordinator of the Chiefs, the best passing offense currently and one of the better ones of all time, is still a coach. So yeah, wokeness got the worst passing offensive coordinator hired, while the best passing offensive coordinator stays working, I guess. I mean, it's good for the Chiefs. I'm sure when we see, coordinator. Oh, Jesus. Not sure if everyone follows football, but coordinators do matter. I mean, Josh McDaniels, and he left New England, but I felt like their offense got better when he got back there. They do matter. But it's just crazy. It's just what happens with wokeness. And again, I'm not watching the Super Bowl. Probably wasn't anyway. But shit like this is just like, all right, I'm done. When you get too complicated, when you get too woke, when you get too garbage, I just get done. Okay, cool, Captain Trek. Go Chiefs. I'm proud of your Chiefs because I know for years and years they were not that good, or they had that 13-3 curse. They would go 13-3, get a home game, lose it. Yeah, Josh McDaniels was a train wreck in Denver. He was a terrible head coach. A lot of these coordinators are not good head coaches. They're just not. And fucking lying. I kind of like this hire a little bit better than the last one because I'm so sick of fucking Belichick retreads. Name one coordinator from Belichick that's ever worked ever. You can't because it doesn't. Okay, that's enough sports ball. As I go on with this show, I'm going to mix in, not this particular show, but you will see more sports ball stories. I had one in my 150 sub stream. You can go ahead and check that out. So you will see more sports ball stories on Vigilante Williamson. Yeah, McDaniels is not a good head coach. And Captain Trek grew up and lives in Kansas City. Hell, Kansas City. So, you know what? I just thought about the Chiefs. I have this Indians hat on, right? I have the Indians hat on partially to shout out to Drew, Supreme Heretic. He's a heretic. He's a Cleveland guy, writer for Bounding in the Comics. And partially because I know wokeness has claimed this team. They're no longer going to be called the Cleveland Indians. I'm not sure if they're going to go to Cleveland baseball team like Washington did, but this team, this logo is going to be gone. So I wonder if the same is going to happen to your beloved Chiefs, especially if they go back to back. And then as I just covered in the last story, there's a huge wokeness thing going on in the NFL. So sorry if that does happen. I'm not trying to speak that into existence, but it's time to get to the serious shit. Time to get to the demons. Here's one of the head demons herself. 30 years ago, maybe she would have made the waifu list, but who knows? There's a case out of the Eastern District of New York that's raising a lot of questions. a man named Douglas McKay was arrested and charged for conspiring to spread disinformation to deprive individuals of their constitutional right to vote. This shit like this makes me fucking sick. This is an attack on free speech. Somebody literally is going to jail for posting a meme. That's the story that we're covering. Somebody is literally going to jail for this says man arrested for spreading disinfo by posting memes during the 2016 election. This story is fucking disgusting. Now I am actually yeah, of course. First off, hell, Eric K, the wrench king of all wrenches. And no, this guy posted me violating no laws. Listen, I'm somebody, because I'm going super conspiracy theory, who says that the election wasn't stolen, because in order to be stolen, it has to belong to more than one party. We actually have always been living under a single party system. Yes, I believe the Orange Man controlled opposition, but that's neither here nor there. Even as somebody who's not going to scream this election was stolen, even though I know there's improprieties with the voting, but again, it's all one scene. This is bullshit. And this is irony. This is why designed to deprive individuals of their constitutional right to vote. You mean what you motherfuckers did? Are you fucking kidding me? Mackey was a social media influencer who used the name Ricky Vaughn, and they accused him of spreading disinformation through memes on social media, such as suggesting a celebrity supported a candidate or posting a meme suggesting people could vote for Hillary Clinton by text. Avoid the line, vote for home. Remember, this is the 2016 election, so there was no one would have been confused thinking you could vote for text. I can actually understand that a little bit more. This election, all the craziness that fucking went on, but this is crazy. And of course, this is what this piece of shit. You know what? Make sure you remember this fat. Ooh, I almost got myself in trouble. I was about to say some really this fucker's name. I'm not gonna say what I was gonna say. Seth Ducharme, because he's the piece of shit. Write him. I usually say don't attack. No, this motherfucker we need to write. We need to start doing that in general. I realize I'll talk about that hopefully later. I'm gonna start writing the governor of my state for shit that, as far as COVID, because we had a fucking stupid curfew. I'm gonna start writing the governor more weekly, multiple times a week. We have to start making. If we want political change, we have to be the change that we want to see, because there ain't nobody else helping us. We got to stop with the avatars, using Elon as an avatar for what we want, using any of these politicians. We have to start publicly being the change. I'm going to talk about this Robin Hood shit and all the bullshit with it, but at its core is the people themselves taking matters into their own hands legally, by the way. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. What's happening with Robin Hood is legal. We'll get there when we get there. But we need to lobby this Seth Ducharme piece of shit, who's just a fucking clout chasing piece of shit, as he tries to destroy free speech. This guy is Seth Ducharme, and anyone who's involved as far as his attorney office, these motherfuckers ought to be ashamed of themselves. I always wonder, how does it feel to be one of the evil motherfuckers to willingly know you are potentially destroying the country's right to free speech? Because that's the type of precedent a case like this could set. And these pieces of shit are cool with it. It is not illegal behavior. That's an editor's note. And it does not contribute to the erosion of the public trust in our electoral process. Pieces of shit like you, William Sweeney, and Seth Ducharme. He's the assistant director of the FBI. What are these pieces of shit? You disrupt the election process. You motherfuckers could have fucking enforced the audit, but you didn't. You could have enforced motherfucker poll watchers to be able to watch as votes were counted, but you didn't. You're pieces of shit. That's why you don't back the blue, because they never back you. Because the FBI, yes, they are the blue. Don't back them. They don't give a fuck about you. None of these motherfuckers did. Let's go into the article, because at one point I do want to get into is this thought. Christina Wong did the exact same thing. The exact same thing. There was other users. Penelope Spire, Robin Land, Hurton Marius did the exact same thing. It's okay for this bitch to do this shit. Hey, Trump supporters, skip poll lines at election 2016 and text in your vote, or vote tomorrow on Super Wednesday. It's okay for this demon to do it. Yeah, she's not in danger for the FBI because Democrat. We're in North Korea already because if you don't vote for if you're a part of a certain party, the laws are fucking different. The laws are different, and we have to impact it ourselves. And I've heard other people talk about oh, well, maybe political speech should be a protected class. No. You do not want to open up that can of worms by making the state more involved with the shit than they are. Because then you won't be able to get rid of a leftist who's ruining your company. If you open up that can of worms by making political beliefs a protected thing under the hate speech and discrimination laws. Because then the leftists can ruin your company with wokeness, you would have no recourse. So that's got to always think about the other side of the coin. That's the garbage they do in Europe. Yeah, I've heard about this crazy shit in Europe. If you still think we're the land of the free, you're fooling yourself. Agree, and that's why we have to take a more active role. If nothing else, to let these motherfuckers know we don't like them. Shit, a short squeeze is a legit strategy. What's criminal is platforms shutting down the trade to protect the hedge funds. We will get into that because there are links to our lovely state-sponsored, one-party North Korean CCP government. So we will get into that. Taxation is indeed theft, especially when they're doing so much to destroy small businesses. Literally, this party that's running things sponsored the destruction of small business through this Ponzi scheme / criminal organization known as Black Lives Matter. I know I said I wasn't going to talk about politics, but these motherfuckers pull me back every time. But the same party that's doing that is the same party that's going to raise taxes just to pay for a bunch of shit that doesn't matter. Hold on a second. Got a little pop-up on the screen, and I don't want it to fuck up anything, so we will be back. We're back. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for the main thing, but I'm going to give a little bit more before I go to the next story. Basically, leftists are allowed to post whatever the fuck they want, but we're not. And I'm sick. And I said, I'm not on the right. I'm in the libertarian space, but I'm done with the right-left paradigm anyways. This is unconstitutional. This is a destruction of free speech. This shit should not be tried. And here's the dangerous thing about this. We all know about this. What happens when they start getting random people we don't know about? What happens when vigilante disappears? Because I've done something for election fraud. Because if this is election fraud, surely I've done something. What happens when I'm just gone? Not yeeted, just disappeared. Because I get arrested for something like this, and you don't hear anything. Or other guys who are small creators, they get arrested for something like this, and you don't hear anything. What happens then? We are in North Korea. We are in China. We are in CCP China. You can be taken away for wrong thing. Let's talk about this. Speaking of what our one state government, our state government who's trying to be so involved with everything. They want to be involved with the stock market. They want to be involved with our education, which they already are, but indoctrination. They want to be involved with fucking your marriage. They want to be involved with everything. And then you say, you know what? Where's my fucking piece of silver? What did I do with it? I don't know what I did. I don't want to lose shit. But you say, you know what? We're sick of the system. We're sick of the government. We're going to attack the system. We're going to do something. And Wall Street Bets has done with the short squeeze. They've done that for a while. And what happens? Robinhood limited buys on GameStop and AMC. Volatile and GameStop shares has prompted brokerage apps to restrict some trades. That is illegal. As a matter of fact, I'm not even gonna go through this. A lot of people know about the GameStop. I'm gonna go right for the jugular. The GameStop connection to the Biden team and Janet Yellen. Jen Psaki. Is this the Jen Psaki? It's ironic they went with a redhead as much as the left hates redhead, right? Spins like anything when asked. As you've been keeping up with the GameStop rebellion, news has been breaking fast and furious. I want to break down some of the important relationships here so you can see behind why some of this is happening and why some are reacting the way they are, and the tie-in to Janet Yellen and the Biden team. Melvin Capital is the hedge fund that got stomped by the little guys when they decided to buy GameStop and drive up the price because of Melvin Capital's short position in the company. Tough shit, Melvin. That's how it goes. You motherfuckers do this shit all the time. I can't find my fucking piece of silver that I meant to bring in here. Probably left it in my other room, my bedroom. But silver is something I'm interested in, and that shit has been shorted since before I was fucking born. They've been fucking with silver for decades. It's only like $26 or $25. I can't remember what it was last time I checked. Shit should be hundreds and hundreds of dollars based upon the available amount of silver, the way that the mining system works, and how much silver to gold there actually is above ground, and the fact that a lot of silver gets used in our technology and doesn't get recycled. So a lot of silver comes and it's gone forever. So silver should be more valuable, but they short it and short it, short it and short it and short it, so they can push the price down. But the people at Wall Street Bets, what did they do? They looked up the trading data, they realized the volume, and they said, we can spike these stocks prices. And it's legal to do so because these fucking capital hedge funds do shit like this every fucking day. Every day. Every day. So let's get into more of this. According to the Wall Street Journal, Melvin Capital was propped up by Citadel and another firm, 72 Point, with a $2.7 billion infusion after it lost 30% of the capital. You know why they did that? Because we have one state government and they're state connected. So they said, oh, we can go ahead and give you billions of dollars because we know our boys are going to stop this shit quick, fast, in a hurry. Yes, Citadel also pays Robinhood for the trade data. So basically Citadel's in there with Robinhood. They're saying, hey, we can't lose all this money. And then all of a sudden, Robinhood blocks the buying allegedly. All of what I just said, the last sentence was alleged, but you be the judge. So Robinhood blocked buying. Some accuse Citadel of blocking trades in order to bail out Melvin Capital, because that's what they were doing. So Citadel, an investor in Melvin Capital, who's set to be the biggest loser in a GME short squeeze, and a huge portion of Robinhood's revenue comes from Citadel, who purchases trade flow data. This is a bad look. No, it's fucking illegal. It's not a bad look. It's a fucking federal crime. Then again, I wish I had my piece of silver. JP Morgan was literally caught for a bunch of shit of many things was their influence on silver. And they got a slap on the wrist. Don't do it again because they're too big to fail. So we'll see if a goddamn thing happens to Citadel or Robinhood for this clear, obvious fraud. They are the fraudsters, and fucking the lamestream North Korean state-sponsored media that's fucking lying to you, calling these people who did something legal, at least for now legal, because the little guy got over. These people want you to worship these corporations in the state because they're all one damn thing. These fucking stadiums. Let's get into the connection. There's another big connection that's just coming out, which might explain Jen Pski's comment on how Janet Yellen and the Biden team were monitoring the situation. Who the fuck says they should be monitoring a fucking thing? Why, when we ask, why should they be monitoring a free market trade? So according to Daily Caller, Yellen was paid $810,000 to speak at 3 events for Citadel between October of 2019 and 2020. She was given another $200,000 for a speech, or she was given $200,000 for a speech on the 17th of 2019, October 17th, 2019, $180,000 for a speech December 3rd, 2019, and $300,000 at a series of webinars for October 9 through 27 in 2020. Citadel spends thousands lobbying in Congress and the Treasury Department every year since 2008. I love this. Ready guy, I made $1,000 on GameStop, and then Yellen says I made $337,000 talking at a webinar for Citadel. So she basically did what I did, what I'm doing now for Citadel, and made almost $400,000 or $350,000, almost $350,000. So why is she monitoring the situation again? Why should she have any involvement? Now, there's no suggestion. Fuck that. I'm suggesting she's doing something wrong because this shit is illegal. She has nothing to fucking monitor. But the article of this red state, they're not. There's no suggestion that she's done anything wrong in the situation. Again, I disagree. I know they're just covering the shit. But when we're seeing vast sums of money paid to someone as a speaking fee, this should this not be concerning about the influence that gives company like Citadel as the situation is now breaking? Let's be honest. We know this administration is already bought and paid for. Who does she think buy this stuff? That doesn't, of course, answer the question whether or not she would recuse herself. It doesn't explain what monitoring, yelling is doing. Not great. And just more shit. Nothing to see here, right? Complete bullshit. Okay. The Republicans. I hate the Republicans. If you listen to Vigilante Williamson, if you hate everything I do, I'm going to do a tons of different content. I'm trying to get better. If you learn nothing else from me, learn to not trust your politicians, to be hard on the politicians you hate, and even harder on the politicians you love. We're going to talk about actually Evil Waifu, ALC, and Ted Cruz. But I wanted to talk about Ted Cruz. I talk shit about Tulsi Gabbard, and for good reason. Because everybody wants to guide up Tulsi for what she said about Kamala Harris. Oh, she slammed her. She talked so much shit about Kamala Harris. She got her. Yet still, Tulsi Gabbard had as much impact on getting Kamala Harris out of the White House as Vigilante Williamson, which is not a damn bit. And now we're going to get into this fucking cuck Ted Cruz. Even though he's on our side for this, he's still a fucking cuck. You know why? He's on our side for this, but we still have people getting arrested for fucking memes. And this motherfucker Ted Cruz, this piece of shit, everyone gives clout. Oh, he owned Jack Dorsey. He owned him. Did you see? This motherfucker has much impact on social media policy as Vigilante Williamson, which is not a goddamn bit. So stop guiding him up. Even if he's on our side for this, which he is, and believe it or not, Evil Waifu AOC is as well. For this bullshit with Robinhood investors, again, the Republicans are not innocent. They're a little less socialist at best. That is very true. Listen, there's a lot of people who said Orange Man's a socialist, and I was with them. We have the first female Treasury Secretary, and she's corrupt as fuck, just like every other Treasury Secretary. So what does her having a vagina have to do with how corrupt she is? Looks like not a goddamn bit. Citadel owns Robinhood, from what I'm hearing. I didn't know they owned them. I thought they just put a lot of money into them. I didn't know they own them. Oh, hell no, nothing would happen. Nothing to see here. Move along. It's bullshit. You know what though? Another thing I want to add to the Vigilante Williamson thing, if you can learn nothing else, learn that these politicians don't give a fuck about you, and also learn how powerful you are. We have to change. You know what? Those people on Robinhood did enough, or not Robinhood, on Reddit did enough for this shit to be in this situation. We need to back them. We need to start writing. It sounds simple. It sounds stupid. It sounds defeatist. We need to start writing our congressmen again and contacting our congress people for things we care about. If it's something like this, contact Ted Cruz and make sure he actually does something in this time. Instead of just for optics. Oh, this was optics. Who gives a fuck about optics? Do something. Do something, ho. Do any goddamn thing. Jesus. But yes, Ted Cruz and AOC are in agreement for calling for investigation on Robinhood, which we'll see if it happens. It's us versus the state, not left versus right. Yes, that is the main point. And I appreciate you, JD. You're on fire in the chat. I don't know. There are other people watching, but I guess you're the only one chatting. I appreciate it. That's exactly it. It's us versus the state. You may still have your left or right principles based upon, but the left-right paradigm is just divide and conquer, and it's been working lovely. But hey, as much shit as I talk about politicians, they're able to agree for us for a reason. I'm sure they'll be paid off tomorrow and renounce everything they said. But for today, Ted Cruz signals he's in full agreement with the AOC's call for investigating Robinhood on blocking investors. Texas Cuck Senator Ted Cuck and New York Congresswoman and evil waifu Alexandria Ocasio, or was it Alexandria Occasional Cortex, as I've heard they pronounce, because she occasionally uses her frontal cortex, but it looks like she does today, have been known to be the polar opposites of one another, at least by you. I think they're the same. I think they're just the same, two heads of the same coin. Since they were first made aware of each other's existence. But it would appear that the two have been brought together brought into full agreement on one thing. Stock trading app known as Robinhood, irony, because you're supposed to rob from the rich and give to the poor. And when we do that, they shut us down. But was one of the largest tools used in a recent surge in GameStop stock, or GameStop stock. I don't know. Listen, hey, Eric K, make your burgers. Enjoy your food. Dude, you're speaking my language. I'm borderline anarcho-capitalist. Yeah, me too. I think, Ripple has been selling that anarcho-capitalism. Over the course of this year, I'm like almost all the way there. Almost all the way fucking there. And I'm the first person to contribute to Ripa's, 2044 campaign, because he said he wanted to wait till he was in his 50s. So I did the math. So I'm the first person to contribute to that campaign, if it actually ever is a thing. But yeah, the anarcho-capitalism is looking mighty fine right about now. GameStop stock, as well as other companies such as movie theaters AMC and phone company Nokia. That's the only one I bought into, because that's the only one I was able to do as quick as I could. As the shock waves from the stonks rocketing into the stratosphere, hedge fund managers became angry as they finally got their fucking comeuppance from doing this shit for decades. That's not what it says here, but that's what happened. In response, Robinhood halted any trading illegally with the aforementioned companies, resulting in a massive backlash from investors because this was illegal and it's evil, led in part by Barstool Sports president Dave Portnoy, who called for Robinhood's decision makers to be imprisoned for their blatant market manipulation and interference of the free market. I agree. They should be put in prison. They should be put in prison. And you know what we have to do? We have to start being a damn lobbyist. We have to be people. They have to feel us. They're not going to agree with shit we say. But on other subjects, we have to contact our politicians a lot more often. So they have to, whether it's phone calls, emails, if it was normal for if a politician did something dumb, for them to receive so much contact for so long, it would be a part of their decision-making process. Even if they're doing corrupt shit, they gotta say, oh shit, we gotta think about the people in our district, because they're always fucking with us about everything. So we can't just do this like that. You know what I mean? We need to give these people who are in power something to account for. Because again, the politicians, this story is about cucking a thought talking shit, but nothing's going to come of it unless we make it. This is unacceptable, tweeted AOC. We now need Robinhood's decision to block retail investors from purchasing stock, while hedge funds are able to trade stock as they see fit. As a member of the Financial Services Committee, I support a hearing is necessary. Why the fuck is AOC on the Financial Services Committee of Congress? Holy shit, that's a disaster. But all that said, I support a fucking hearing, even though nothing will come of it. I support one. Anyway, we'll get some sound bites. Ted Cruz will talk tough and do fucking nothing. Yeah. Did you see Musk tweeted stock support? I did not see that. Almost makes you think he cares. Yep. Like I said, I don't trust. I'm thinking more and more with a dial Mars with Musk. Maybe we will. Who knows? Listen, I don't trust anybody. I don't trust any goddamn. I trust Jake D. Jake D. I trust you way more than I trust even Elon Musk. I know he's supposed to be on our side, but he's a fucking billionaire. if he's on our side, it's only because he doesn't want society to crumble. He wants to keep fucking hot women. So he can't fuck as many hot women in a fucking well, maybe he can fuck more, I don't know. But in Mad Max, maybe he won't have, maybe he's one of the few billionaires who realizes, I don't know if I'm gonna be a billionaire if all society falls, because even if I am, people will just eat me. I don't know. I know a lot of people like him. You don't have to be as bitter and jaded as me. Okay. And this is the whole tweet. Ted Cruz fully agree, but we'll have more of that story as well. Doesn't end. It's not often the AOC finds her wholly aligned with the free market right. It's definitely a cold day in hell when Cruz find themselves on the same page, but it would appear the temperature down there dropped dramatically. Cruz tweeted out a response to AOC letting her know he was in full agreement. Fully agree again. So, but again, we'll get to the next story. The Disney movie between Ted Cruz and AOC is not going to be written quite yet. Got to hydrate or die. Jeez, we're 40 minutes in. We still have another. I'm going to count this as a story. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Plus the good news. Another 8 stories to cover. So we got a lot to do. Well, a lot to do. I knew it was going to be a pretty long stream. But yeah, they're both worthless. And of course, AOC can't just fucking leave Good Enough alone. This headline's a bit incendiary, so I'm not even going to read it. Let's just get to the article. Basically, AOC has to be a cunt with everything she does. You see, he made enough of his initial fortune off government laundered money, though, so there's that. Yeah. Of course, AOC went for a psycho cruise, which is what we're about to cover now. Jesus Christ. I feel somebody's hitting that, and it's like, you know what? Public service to any male, which everyone's a man. Just because she's hot, don't simp for her, because you will be the next AOC boyfriend simping for these hot chicks. Seriously, I know women are beautiful as fuck, but you cannot just follow them off a cliff. Because somebody has to deal with AOC every goddamn day. And I can assure you he regrets that. Anyways, on Thursday, Senator Ted Cruz, as we just covered, tweeted out support for AOC's position that Congress needs to be a bit more curious on how apps like Robinhood has been restricting free trading to favor hedge funds, taking a beating on the free market. AOC, who never lets a good clapback go to waste, tweeted in return that she wants nothing to do with Cruz, as he almost had me murdered 3 weeks ago. Bitch. If somebody wanted to hurt you in that fucking thing, they could have. It was fucking old ladies with flags in that motherfucker. Shut the fuck up. Just shut up. Shut up about this shit. Shut up about this shit. I was talking to a coworker, and he always has the fucking news on. And I meant to ask him, but I don't want to get into politics with him, because if he agrees with me, then he'll be talking my ear off about it. If he disagrees, he'll be talking my ear about it. I don't want to hear it. But I'm talking to him about something. I hear something in the back. He has the news, and they're talking about white supremacy and shit in reference to this fucking thing in the hallway where a bunch of cops shot at protesters, and they're making it seem like the protesters, who are mostly Antifa, were trying to destroy democracy, even though they've already destroyed democracy. And these motherfuckers are still getting hype off of that. He tried to murder me 3 weeks ago. Shut up, bitch. No, he didn't. Fuck you. You're a piece of shit. That's why we don't co-sign these politicians on the Vigilante Williamson show. They're worthless pieces of shit. Each and every fucking one of them. Each and every one of them. All this damn censorship. But there's an irony about her clapback, and we'll get to that a little bit later as well. One can hardly deny that, according to current big tech censorship rules, this type of statement might encourage some mentally unfit followers to avenge her attempted murder by bringing harm to Senator Cruz. She says, I'm so happy to work with Republicans on this issue when there's a common ground, but you almost had me murdered 3 weeks ago, so you can sit this one out. Happy to work with almost any other GOP that aren't trying to get me killed. In the meantime, if you want to help, you can resign. He did not try to get you killed. People had the right to protest. Orange Man should have fucking put up barricades, but he's controlled opposition. Stop milking this shit for clout, you fucking bitch. No one here is saying AOC is being violent. She is being a bitch. What we are saying is that according to our moral compass on the right, she is simply being hyperbolic to make a point. She has opinion, even if it's a terrible take. It's hers to wield as she sees fit. What big tech and their cohorts in the Democratic media complex, let's just say, Democrat media complex, we're done with the right left. Let's say establishment media complex, because these Republicans, Fox News was on their fucking side anyway. Are you shitting me? Are saying since January 6th is that anyone who says anything that could give even a few crazes some dangerous ideas to commit violence is complicit in any violence that does occur. It doesn't matter if it was your intention. If you tell a lie that someone believes is the truth or other opinion that someone uses to justify madness, you are then inciting violence and even sedation. But here's the thing. As we see with shit, if this happened on the right and they did so, or let's say something happened to this fat cuck Ted Cruz because of what ALC said, we know nothing's going to happen. Everyone on the right is just going to say, "Well, if it happens on the left, and then let me just not do anything and talk shit," because that's all people on the right do. Let me just, if it was the other way around, you are everyone. There is no fucking mainstream media. It's your job. Stop being a cuck. I fucking hate the Republicans. I hate the Republicans almost more than the Democrats at this point. They're just useless. So that's all that would happen. These are the rules. The right did not make them. Bernie Bros did not make them. Orange Man did not make them. Left wing, big tech, and Democrat media outlets and the Democratic Party themselves made them. And citing has become the word du jour, and they'll be sure to beat the horse until it's dead. That horse died the 7th. It happened on the 6th. By the 7th, the horse was fucking dead. For now, it's come to encompass anything that's a mentally unstable person can perceive as a reason to be violent. Under this logic, I like this one. Jodie Foster is responsible for Reagan's shooting. Maxine Waters is responsible for some of Antifa violence. Now, this I actually agree with. I don't know if you guys remember this, but let's go down memory lane.
Maxine Waters yesterday after she called on supporters to harass Trump administration officials.
If you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store,
you remember this bitch saying this?
at a gasoline station,
this fucking whore, trap queen Maxine. You should see what the fuck happened to her district since she's been there.
President responded.
You're not welcome. You're not welcome. You're a fucking piece of shit. You should see what's happened to her fucking district. And the brother that ran it, and then she lives in a mansion like 2 miles away from her district. She's what a piece of shit. Fucking hate Maxine Waters. Oh, what a demon crap. Okay. And most certainly CNN, MSNBC, and the Democrat Party, and nearly every left-wing reporter and social media account on the internet responsible for the near fatal shooting Representative Steve Scalise. Yeah, I forgot all about that congressional baseball game. They create so much hysteria upon impending Obamacare rollbacks. They incite to a lunatic to kill any Republican he could in defense of what he saw as been told was the only thing that could save health care for poor Americans. And again, there was no, it proves my point. If something happens to a Republican, what happened? Nothing. I'll get to you guys' comments. I see you guys go up, but I want to get through the point. AOC's pettiness aside, it would be the preference for most of the right, including Senator Cruz, I suspect, for her to be able to tweet whatever ridiculousness she wants. However, unless big tech intends on returning their platforms to a market approach based upon free speech values, I'm afraid we insist on AOC having her account suspended until she removes this possibly inciting tweet. And who knows what crazies are out there planning to avenge her attempted murder and bring harm to Cruz. Okay, and there are people who actually agree with this. I'd like to report this tweet. AOC is accusing a sitting senator of an attempted murder. Can we at least get a fact check? This accusation is not only subject to libel, it makes a lot of people feel unsafe. What if she's inciting retaliation against Senator Ted Cruz? If AOC's standard of excitement is applied to herself, she far exceeds the standard for having blood on her hands. 30 people were killed this summer, talking about the riots. Your words filled on those riots. By your standard, you had 30 people killed, murderer. Thank you, Amanda Presto, who tweeted this. I agree. Apparently she's a blue check mark. Don't know who she is. I don't agree. And, hey, speaking of random because man of Presto may not be a Latin, but this lady is the lady that wrote this article. Again, there are people on the right that aren't white. So stop with this white supremacy shit. Alrighty, let's get to comments. Yeah, you guys were going off. Okay, yeah, I'll see what for a twinkle. Don't let her near any sharp objects. Let her near all sharp objects just in her room. Lower. I've never seen her boyfriend. Let me check this guy. Let's check him out. Right here. Actually, let me go off camera so I can take the mask off. There's old Heath Ledger. See what AOC's dude. I heard he was a ginger, which is ironic given how the left hate gingers. But hey, they just put a ginger as the press secretary, so maybe they're changing the tune. I heard she streams too. Like her streams got crashed. Riley Roberts. Dude, he looks so cucked out. He wants to leave. He wants to leave. I'm looking in this man's eyes. Okay. Let me get a view image. Open image, new tab. Look at this man's eyes. Look into that man's eyes. I'm gonna get back on camera. Does he look like he want to be there? That he wants to be there? He looks like he's doesn't it look like he's checking her about some dumb shit she just said to him? This is her boyfriend. I feel bad for dude. You can tell if he could get out of this shit just by this. I know this is one picture. You can't, but fuck, you want to talk about a picture saying 1,000 goddamn words. Here's the guy. So yep. Another person who hates, I talked about a little bit in a different podcast, but of course she hates white people, talk shit about white people, and that's her boyfriend. And no disrespect. Like I said, dude looks like he's ready to go. He's ready to get the fuck out of there. If he could, I'm sure he would. So how it goes. Don't stick your dick in crazy. Another thing, or let crazy stick your dick in you if that's your thing. Or if cause I see Kate. There's a woman. The only woman who watches outside Mary G. But no, I just see her boyfriend. Yeah, I do not want that. Well, ALC, no, I don't want. The evil waifu list are not girls I would actually date. They're just girls that are attractive. Oh, we got another evil waifu to talk about as well. One of the underrated ones. But yeah, I do not want this crazy bitch. She's a demon from hell. And don't get hypnotized by those big socialist titties. Thomas, so probably she does have big socialist titties. Sorry, Kate. Not if he's as stupid. The basic bitches can have all the beta bros. Yeah, he looks beta. But like I said, that last picture, he looks like he was explaining like, Alexandria, stop spending my money on Gucci. You're supposed to be a socialist, but you spend all my money on Gucci. I'm tired of this shit. You're supposed to be the feminist socialist, but you're spending all my money on Gucci. What the fuck happened? All the checks you get from corporations. You can't fucking and Eric K laughing at JD. You can't fucking pay for your own shit. All right, gotta run. Your stand stream. If you are a fan of the stand, check out JD's stand stream. It's okay to leave me for JD. What do you think about the stand if you're still here? I know you've talked like it's not that good. You probably have already left. But if you are still here, let me know what you think about the stand. I remember you talking and it wasn't that good. One of my friends who got pulled over got to work all pissed saying racist cop put me over. I told him, I know I haven't pulled over for nothing. Let me see. One of my friends who got pulled over got to work all pissed off saying racist cop put me over. I told him, I've been pulled over for nothing. I asked everyone as we walked by, white, black, Hispanic, did not matter. Everybody had been pulled over for no reason. It's just what they do. Did the same thing with a super rich lady I know. She was going on about it. This lady buys. This lady buys a brand new top of the line Mercedes every 2 years, and I asked her, "Had you been put over for nothing?" She says, "Yes." It opened her eyes that this is just what they do. I got pulled over once, and the sheriff said I went to a stop sign. I said, "No, I didn't. I was looking right at you when I stopped." He looked at my license plate and said, "To go on your local." Go. said, go and you're a local. Go and, he said, let me go and say, oh, you're a local. Okay. Here's what I will slightly push back. You're right. They do this all the time. It's still bullshit. Now, yeah, the cop wasn't racist, but like, I think that's a bad policy to say, hey, yeah, this cop is pretty much unconstitutional, but they're not racist. No, we talked about the people versus the state. I think this is bullshit. We need to do something about the quotas. The cops have quotas, which is why they do this shit. And it's fucking bullshit. So we should stop it. Is it racist? Probably not, but it's still bullshit. So regardless of racism, it's still bullshit. JD, take care. He is probably afraid to leave. I'm sure he is. Paulie, I would trade the mask for a hot actor's wife anytime. You're not the real vigilante. He looks as stupid. He does. Oh, Mango, how goes it? Order my Blue Demon mask. Cool, Blue Demon. I actually know who Blue Demon and Blue Demon Jr. is. Paulie, check out Latino Slant's video. Yeah, he had a video that I commented on about Disney is doing a Blue Demon like a thing, which is probably going to be cool. At first, while I was watching a little bit of stream, I got a little nervous, but it said that he is actually producing it, and because Blue Demon Jr. and Blue Demon, that's his family thing, they're not gonna even if they make the girl who's the girl wrestler look good, they're not about to fuck up their family legacy for wokeness. I can tell you that. So that seems interesting. And again, I like wrestling, and actually Mexican wrestling is some of the best wrestling on the planet. Eric Cage just said hi to Kate. I guess you get the X Files ready for you guys' show later. I don't know when it starts. So I maybe still be going. Slash say what's up. KOSC, I don't know anything about Spanish. So that's stuff on AOC. We'll see what happens with this fucking I'm about to say Red Bull. Yeah, I was gonna say Red Bull. This GameStop, AMC, mainly GameStop, but just this Wall Street bets doing one for the little guy. You know what I mean? This whole thing, as JD said, short squeeze is a fire strategy. There was nothing illegal about what they did. And despite the fuckery between these two useless ass politicians, Ted Cruz and AOC, what Robinhood did was illegal. I'm glad they at least purport to support the people. As far as this AOC being a cunt, I really wish that things were even. I really wish they would at least fact check that tweet or at least consider deplatforming that tweet, but they won't. And that's why you need to get off Twitter and Facebook. If you have a Twitter or Facebook, I understand. Like, I still have a shitter. I only have it for this channel. That's the only reason I got it. I actually have more traction on mine, so please follow me on mine. Actually, let me not go Inception. Let me promote my minds and my shit, because I never do. Outside the song that I almost got myself doxxed in the process of promoting. So let's get see minds. Yeah, everybody needs to get on minds. That's how you get rid of Twitter. Free market style. I've heard people, and I talked about it earlier. Oh, let's privatize social media. You want to reward these assholes for censoring us by making them a part of the government permanently? These free market, you want to destroy the free market by making sure Twitter and Facebook win for censoring people? No, you don't make social media private. If you want to make a government social media option, you can, but you don't fucking privatize these publicize these private companies and make them a utilitize. That's what I'm trying to say. You don't turn these fucking companies into utilities. Social media is not a fucking utility. You fucking kidding me? Get off of it. Get off of Facebook unless you absolutely need it. Jeez, it's not that hard. If you want to get rid of social media, don't use the social media that you're using. Oh, yes, okay, let's say. Correct about Blue Demon Jr. When we sell Sheba. Yeah, but that's like I said, you don't do that to your fucking family, bro. That's a family name. You know what I mean? He's gonna pass that down to his son. You're not gonna. She may get a hurricane rider off on him or something, and may have a cool moment doing trading, but it's not gonna be like, oh, Blue Demon's a piece of trash and this girl's the bestest ever. That's not happening. I just don't see that. Love Kara, she's awesome. She is pretty awesome. It's a pretty awesome article. I have to check out more of her work. But yeah, It would be nice if there was some standardization. But again, we have to play a bigger role. I said this earlier. I'm gonna constantly push this throughout every podcast. We have to play a bigger role in our local politics and federal politics. We have to get back to writing and calling our politicians and our boards, our school boards, our local boards a lot more, and getting people who are willing to. Also, it doesn't have to be this right versus left thing, especially on certain subjects. If you could, if you have a local school issue that bothers you, if your school system is teaching shit you don't want, if there's some local shit that you want changed, and static comes in from my fucking semi shitty preamp. Stop it. Okay, stop it. Did you be more active? If more of us are active, a lot of these places will bend. That's all these leftists did. They got really active and people got scared of them. They need to fucking fear us too. They want to backdoor their net neutrality thing again. Yeah. That's another reason it's kind of iffy having Congress in on it. But I'm an hour in and I have like a buttload of stories. So let's go to another evil waifu. The underrated evil waifu. And I always fuck her up her name. Krishna Sawant. She's a council member for Seattle. You may not remember her, but she is the one who led the charge when we had the Summer of Love. She's the one who led the charge of the chop or the chaz onto Jenny Durkin's doorstep. In many ways, we can thank her in a roundabout way for the chop ending, because once they got to their doorstep, they stopped. But now, for numerous things, she wants an investigation. This guy's name is Rance. I love it. Jason Rance. He's the one who wrote this. Seattle CM Kashama Sawant, evil waifu. Look at her looking evil, but still waifu-ish. Never reported threats to police, yet demands an investigation. After receiving a series of threatening emails, socialist city council member, she is a card-carrying socialist. That's not just a joke or some statement. Kashama Sawant demanded the city take this issue seriously, but while she said she was extremely concerned with the potential for violence from the emailer, Sawant never actually contacted the Seattle Police Department. Instead, Sawant released a press release, and also she's the funded police person too, so there's no irony for her contacting the police department. Well, listen, we're not all as cool as you, Eric K. You should date a girl named everyone. Every day there is, because Sharima, and it's a little bit different than hers. I dated a Sangita too, so what am I saying? Instead, I probably should have said that because she's one of the few people who knows my real identity. Instead, Sawant released a press release demanding an investigation she applies the city would conduct. But the investigation would have already started and maybe ended had she reported the threats to law enforcement as she was supposed to. Threats are probably fake. The council member is using but allegedly, the council member is using the spurious claim to portray herself as a victim of a city disinterested in supporting her, while using the threats to rally supporters behind her. She's transparently political, all in the name of fighting off a threat she doesn't seem to take too seriously. So here's the thing. She's trying to defund the fire department, and so that's why she's using this for political clout, because she's the evil socialist, and they do this. They do all sorts of fucked up things, and we know with the election, but they do things where they lie and make up shit for support. So this could be true, where because she's pushing against the fire department because she's an evil bitch, that they're coming back with her, but more likely it's not. She published 4 on her council page blog blocking out the staffer's name. Sure, most of the comments are undeniably rude and mean-spirited, but may not rise to the level of illegal threats. 2 emails sent, however, could. One warns her to resign, or else another says if she doesn't resign, they'll make the decision for her by any means necessary. And I will say this: I'm talking about writing emails, no threats, no bullshit. I don't like this bit. Like I said, I think she's attractive, but in general, even though I say we should push the politicians a lot more than we are, we have to write them. We have to contact them. We have to voice our opinions.
Stand away! All of you! I don't want his mom. Do you understand?
We cannot crossed the fucking line. I don't want anything for these politicians, mob lords to use. Now, there's a non-zero chance this isn't bullshit. I'm talking shit about the evil waifu because more than likely she's using this for clout, but there's a non-zero chance there were some crazy motherfuckers who sent her an email. And even if I disagree with this person politically, she's also a person who lives in $1 million home, despite being a socialist, of course. There's no reason to send threats to her. There's no reason to send threats to anyone. Don't send any threats. Do send emails. Do call your politicians. Don't send threats because I don't want anything for these mob lawyers to use. Was it on December 31st, Seattle Fire Department emailed Sawat to explain they heard about the issue and were investigating, but the emails will continue. The last one was sent on January 18th, 2021. Sawat did release a press release. Sheesh, hold on. Got to hydrate or die. My vocal cords just said, fuck you, I need water. All right. And went to Mayor Jenny Durkin, whose home Sawat led a mob to for political speech, culminating in vandalism by her supporters. By the way, she legitimately led a mob as a socialist to overthrow the fucking mayor of her city. You didn't hear anything about that if you don't remember it. She legitimately, not this insurrection bullshit they're trying to pull. She led a mob to a politician's fucking home. Straight up. Hey, let's get them in their financials. Culture Casino, a rare appearance from Culture Casino. I'm not sure if you're further back in the podcast. We were talking about the Robin Hood craziness, the Robin Hood GameStop illegal bullshit that they're pulling when they're trying to stop people from fucking the system, which we have all right to do. So please, if you're able to legally buy some GameStop stock, some AMC, or some Nokia, or some Dogecoin, get your stick it to the goddamn man. Fuck them. Where were? Oh yeah. Seattle Police Chief Adrian Diaz, second police chief because the black police chief last year stepped down, whose department she's trying to defund by 50%. So she's trying to defund the department, and now she wants them to help. But now hopes will spend limited resources tracking down an email that she chose not to report. Let me see, because this is a lot of. This goes on forever. Yeah, she complains on threats. So this is says Sawat is the victim, but it doesn't negate the fact she's also someone who victimizes. It's highly ironic. She complains on threats. Her very career is built on threats. To destroy the very people she frequently demonizes, from Amazon founder Jeff Bezos and Mayor Jenny Durkin to police union president Mike Solon and the faceless enemy she simply labels as the wealthy. Again, she lives in $1 million home. Indeed, all of these figures, even though she only supposed to make like 60 grand or something like that from her city job, whatever. We don't know how this happens. Who knows? Instead, all of those figures face violent threats. Like I said, Krishna Sawat should be in jail for what she did last year, but it doesn't matter. Even Democrat violence, they don't want to convict themselves. So yeah, that's pretty much the story. The main reason I covered it is because she was on the evil waifu list. She's still on the evil waifu list. She's still the evil socialist. She's still a liar. She still lives in $1 million home, even though she hates the rich. She may be being threatened, and if she is, that's fucked up. I do not encourage the threats. I want to defund the media and defund the government, but I want to end a race war, a world war, and a civil war without throwing a punch, and we can do that. We don't need to throw punches. We don't need to do threats. We do need to still write and contact our politicians, but keep pushing that shit. I think we're done with politics, though. We're not done with this podcast, but the politics have, at least the hardcore politics have, is done. So, yeah. See people say hi to Culture. Yeah, he usually doesn't show up on these streams. He's usually too busy. I don't know if he's watching the background. Hail David Blair. I know he's a new sub over from Dick Weiser, so I appreciate you being here. Appreciate it. Even though we're an hour plus in, we're really just getting started. We just did the political half. It's time for the back half, which unfortunately gets somewhat political. All righty. This Zack Snyder thing, the Snyder Cut thing, is a bit of a thing. First off, even in this article, there's a little bit of conflicting information on whether it's going to be one big thing or four-part miniseries. And this goddamn Ray Fisher thing has thrown a whole monkey wrench in the promotion for the Snyder Cut. I am actually completely the thought that Fatal J said a few weeks ago is completely with me as far as the way the Ray Fisher thing was covered was to damage the Snyder Cut, and I agree with that. Even though I'm not not supporting Ray Fisher, but Joss Whedon is a fucking nut job, and they are definitely using this whole situation to diminish the Snyder Cut. And there's a slight amount of evidence because we have an asshole from Collider talking shit. Before we even get to that, let's just get to the initial story he was talking shit about. Zack Snyder said he left the Justice League production because he had zero energy for the fight. And this also shows that he didn't really leave. Like, he left. He took time off for his for what happened with his daughter, but they were always fucking with him with this production. Zack Snyder just didn't have it in him to fight the good fight anymore. That's what the original Justice League director said in a new interview explaining why he didn't return to the helm Justice League after stepping away during post-production and reshoots because of the suicide death of one of his 8 children, which is tragic. And if anyone here suffers from depression, which is something I do, please, I don't want to give you the cliche message because that's not of use. But there's a lot to life, and I would say look for things you can do to mitigate the impact of depression. I know this fucking lockdown and everything, everything that's come of the coof, everything that's happened in politics, it can add to you, especially if you got something going on in your real life. But this suicide is never the answer. Never. No matter how bleak it looks, the night's always darkest for the dawn. So I wanted to add that in because it's tragic. Like I said, I always struggle with depression. So that shit always gets to me. I digress. Snyder had been fighting with the studio over his Justice League vision when tragedy struck his family. Sean O'Connell, so he told Cineblend's Sean O'Connell, whose book Release the Snyder Cut comes out March 1st. The director never completed his cut of the movie until now. I was just kind of done with it, said the director, 54. I was in this place of knowing my family needs me, or of my family needs me more than this, and I just need to honor them and do the best I can to heal that world. Snyder said he had no energy to fight the studio as the film's November 17th release date approached. Why is he fighting the studio still? That's the thing. Literally zero energy for that. Excuse me. Sheesh. Literally zero energy for that. Really think that's the main thing. He said, think there's a different world where I stayed and kind of tried. I'm sure I could have, because every movie's a fight, right? I was used to that, but then there was no fight in me. I mean, after what happened, how could there be? I had been beaten what was kind of going on in my life, and I just didn't want to. I didn't care to. That was where I was. No shame in that. But just the fact that he had to fucking fight for his vision. I mean, we saw what we got. It wasn't that great. So, I mean, whatever he would have came up with would probably been just as good as fucking sicko Joss Whedon, who wants to suck Vision's dick. He didn't want to suck it. He wants to see it, which is still crazy. Instead of having this asshole's vision, pun sort of intended. As Snyder stepped down in March 2017, Joss Whedon took the Justice League reins, and the movie came out on time, sort of. But some fans who have been obsessed with Snyder's vision since Man of Steel and Batman vs. Superman, the director was named to head Justice League years earlier, considered Whedon's film disappointing, and so a social media movement was born as they called relentlessly to release the Snyder Cut. I don't know if you guys remember, they would make fun of people for the Snyder Cut. The Snyder Cut doesn't exist, this, that, and the third. I don't think it really did. I think they had obviously had to do a lot of reshoots, but it's bullshit. I don't know why the F is highlighted. Gal Gadot, Wonder Woman, and Ben Affleck, Batman, tweeted their support for the effort on the second anniversary of the Justice League release, and Warner Media ultimately accepted the challenge. A teaser trailer for Snyder's vision came out in July 2020 with a push from Jason Momoa, Aquaman. Snyder wasn't nuts about Whedon's take either, saying in December 2020 Q&A on Vero, I hope I could just wipe that version out of existence and what you see in March on HBO Max. Snyder Cut is being sold. This is another thing.
because I've seen this go back and forth. So I have no idea if it's going to be a 4-part movie or one movie. Snyder Cut is being sold as a 4-part event series on a premium streamer that includes new footage, new visual effects, and new music. It's also said to have the kind of violence and profanity that earns a R rating, unlike Whedon's PG-13. We are still going. We're gonna be going, man. We're gonna be going. So if you got through your review of The Stand and you're back, feel free to stay, man. Because we're gonna be going for a little bit, probably another 40 minutes at least. But why is this relevant? Because Collider's editor-in-chief. You remember when Collider was relevant? Steven Weintraub apologizes for appearing to mock Zack Snyder's explanation for Justice League departure. What do you see what this piece of shit did? Yeah, that's what I mean, Jack of Casuals. Yeah, Jack of all casuals. Hell, the Snyder Cut is now a 4-hour movie. That's what I thought as well. But that LA Times article appears to imply they're doing a 4-part miniseries. But I thought it was confirmed as a 4-part, as 4-hour movie. But this article is as of 2 days ago. Could be he's a journalist. You think a journalist is going to check facts? So they could just be fucking wrong. But yeah, I thought the same thing as you, Jack of all casuals. I do think they're still trying to sandbag this movie. I definitely, it may be a piece of shit movie, but they're definitely still trying to sandbag. It wouldn't shock me. It doesn't have to be if this Collider asshole is connected to DC or Warner Brothers, because we know how this Access Media gets down. But anyways, this piece of shit, Steven Weintraub, apologized for his insensitive reaction to Zack Snyder's recent revelation that his departure from 2017's Justice League was due to more than just a family emergency. In an interview for the new book released, the Snyder Cut, an insider look at the Lost Justice League movie, Snyder explained the constant creative battles between himself and the studio were a major contributing factor in his decision to bail from the project. This kind of goes into what we said earlier. Now, let's get to this. The rest of the story is well known. They're just talking about it. So here we go. Even after fans were successful in a 2-year-long campaign to have the Snyder Cut released, Snyder's turmoil surrounding the film has yet to come to an end, as numerous critics continue to mock the director and really the fans for his departure. One such individual was Collider editor-in-chief Steven Weintraub, who replied to the Big Playlist report of this story with a gif of Ryan Gosling laughing to himself. So this is their version of this story. Everyone does this. Zack Snyder left Justice League in 2017 because he had no energy to fight WB over the film. And this asshole replies with this. Steven Weintraub knows this guy lost his fucking daughter to suicide right before this shit and thinks this shit is funny. You think somebody who lost their fucking daughter to suicide and is fighting just to get their fucking vision done, regardless, the Snyder Cut may be trash, but he's just a guy fighting to get his fucking vision done. The other weird motherfucker who finished this shit had flashlight on top of her to the point where you say, I'm not doing it. It was so fucking crazy, regardless of what you think of this fucking Ray Fisher thing, has this fucking investigation that's still going to this day. It got his ass fired. Joss Whedon was fired from a WB project for this shit, right? Fuck all that. Fuck this guy's daughter. Fuck this guy's family. Let's be edgy on Twitter. Let's be edgelord, Steven Weintraub. Nobody gives a fuck about Collider anymore. Collider has as much impact as Vigilante Williamson, which is not a goddamn bit. And I'm going to, the way you guys keep subbing, I'm at 180 plus. I won't be able to use that joke anymore because I actually start to have impact, but still. This is shitty as fuck. Of course, he quickly deleted his Gosling base reaction. Unfortunately, before a proper archive can be made. So I guess this isn't archived properly, but there is a screenshot. After receiving a wave of backlash from the fans, while the editor's intent behind the tweet remains unknown, I think he's just an asshole. Many of it took a snide jab at Snyder's personal and unthinkable tragedy. I personally do myself. Here we go.
Yeah, this is the same talking about the Snyder Cut. It was a movie, then a series, not a movie. Last time I checked, I went through the same thing as far as what I thought, but who knows? Maybe it's a series again. So Geeks and Gamers spotlighted Why Tribe's deleted posts alongside a number of other tweets where the Collider EIC expresses his displeasure with the Snyder Bros. I know the Snyder Bros can be insane. I do know that. Some of them are insane. Specifically due to the outspoken opinions of both the Justice League film itself and the behind-the-scenes fiasco. According to Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers, Why Tribe's tweet was not just an attack on Snyder and his supporters, but also against every vocal fandom that pushes back on mainstream media narratives regarding equality and appeal. And there's a whole video there. You can check that out if you want. Of course, there's all bounding in the comics. Always look at that. I love bounding in the comics, even though they apparently may or may not be deplatformed. Hopefully not. Why Tribe, Jeremy said, has a long history of painting toxic fan narrative with a broad brush. You can actually leave a lot for them to talk about. Of course, let's read this Cuck's tweets. Let's read this Cuck's tweets. A lot of stuff was going on when that movie was being filmed, and it still hasn't coming out. Maybe one day it will. I've been doing this job 15 years, and if you're coming at me like I just joined the internet, don't know what I'm talking about. You're a piece of shit. Earlier today, I posted a GIF in which some people took me. I was laughing at someone else's page. To anyone I thought I posted it to be mean or hurtful, that was absolutely not my intent. I'm sincerely sorry to say it came out that way. I'm just going to stick to cat pics. Oh, listen, yeah, keep posting cat pics while your wife's boyfriend fucks her better than you can. You piece of shit. You see, I'm feisty today. Release the Snyder Cut. Inside look at the Lost Justice League movie is set to release on March 1st, around the time Zack Snyder's Justice League will premiere on HBO Max. I think there is a date. I don't know what it is. I don't know what day in March. But I think that's shitty. This is more of the media. We've talked a lot about how the Star Wars media, they'll use wokeness, all this other shit. This is still shitty media treatment of something the fans want. I think the Snyder Cut is probably going to be trash. No lie. But I'm still going to watch it because the fans wanted it and the fans deserved it. And we should have never needed a Snyder Cut. They shouldn't have been fighting him while his fucking daughter died. Just like we should have asshole in the media trying to make fun of him even though his daughter died. This is, like I said, I'm probably going to watch the Snyder Cut. Sorry if you're a Snyder Cut bro and I just offended you. I see I lost somebody. I expect it to be trash because the whole DCAU is built on garbage. But I still think he deserves to get his vision out there, and he doesn't deserve to be mocked for, again, a fucking tragedy. This is, it's unthinkable. And the idea that you could mock somebody like that and still would have, we're still trying to tweet, oh, like, I just joined the internet. You act like you fucking just joined the internet, you asshole. What was the other tweet? My least favorite people are the Twitter Snyder bros who think they know everything. All this crazy shit. But a lot of stuff was going on. Yeah, it's the same day. Yeah, a lot of stuff was going on with that movie. But I've been doing this job 15 years. You're coming at me like I just joined the internet and don't know what I'm talking about. Well, maybe you act like you just joined the internet and don't know what you're talking about. Maybe. But yeah, that's the craziness with Zack Snyder and his Snyder Cut. And again, the media are loving, wonderful media, constantly attacking people, constantly being disgusting and attacking fan movements. Just because this guy doesn't like the Snyder Cut, he has to attack this guy when he's talking about his fucking going through his daughter's death and dealing with the craziness of this movie. So we are still going. Like I said, probably another half hour because we're getting close to AOC's boyfriend. Let's get those out of there. Getting close to the end, closer to the end, closer to our dreams. But we still got craziness. It seems like every fucking show I've done on this channel for the past month, it's been a new woke crazy asshole at Lucasfilm. Remember, Pablo Hidalgo. You probably forgot all about that asshole, right? Yeah, Pablo Hidalgo talking shit about Star Wars theory. You probably did. You maybe did. I don't know. I sort of did. Pablo Hidalgo. Then we had Justina Ireland. You can't see my fucking fingers. Pablo Hidalgo, Justina Ireland, Christina Ariel, and now this bitch, E.K. Johnson. This one is not as woke, but it's still, she wants to deplatform people. Star Wars author E.K. Johnston declares bouting in the comic stream with Jack Pacific will hurt people. Hurt people. Like the title of this podcast says. Hurt people like E.K. Johnston. She declared that a bouting in the comics live stream with One American News Network, Jack Pacific, would hurt people. Right. If you're unfamiliar with Johnston, she was employed by Star Wars, Lucasfilm, and Disney to write a number of Star Wars novels, including one on everyone's beloved Ahsoka. 2016, she published the Ahsoka novel, which tells the story of the former Jedi Padawan to Anakin Skywalker. It takes place between the Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels. She would be tapped to write a second Star Wars novel, this one titled The Queen's Shadow, and focused on Padme Amidala. Actually, I think I could take this off for the rest of the show. I don't think I have any more video. It took place in the events between the Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones. Johnston also wrote a short story by Whatever's Son, alongside Ahsoka Tano voice actor Ashley Eckstein. I know it's one of Jake D's favorite, a lot of people's favorite. Ashley Eckstein. The story was published in the anthology From a Certain Point of View in 2017. The story focuses on Mira Lart, who was previously introduced in the aforementioned Ahsoka novel. She not only claimed that the live stream would hurt people, but revealed her intentions to stop the stream. That's what these people do. Censor. She wrote on Twitter, I don't know how to stop this, but I know it's going to hurt people. How? How is it going to hurt people? Don't you know censorship hurts people, E.K. Johnston? I know you want everything. I'm not going to talk too much shit about her. As much shit I talk about AOC. She's just a writer doing her job, expressing an opinion that's wrong, right? But don't you know censorship hurts people? I'm sure there's no one who from the left would, unless I clip this out, who will listen to me after all the shit I talk. But if you are pro censorship, you have to understand that eventually something you say or do will be censored as well. That eventually they come to you. That's the reason I call this stream hurt people, because a lot of the craziness, like, oh, they're going to hurt people, we have to censor it, comes from a censor her. I talked about all these, she's white, so I guess I can't use it with her. But we had all these people, Christina Ariel, who has a white husband. You know what I mean? That comes from her. You must have if your husband's Caucasian, but all you have to say is negative things about white people, you have an issue with you as well. If your mother's Caucasian, like Justina Ireland, and all you have to say about how bad white people is, you have an issue with you as well. So these people are hurt people who are trying to hurt people legitimately. And I don't know about E.K. Johnston. I don't know enough about her background. She is a Caucasian sister. In this article, I guess I know they got beef with Christina Ariel after it, so they go a little bit into it. But censorship is never the answer. It's just rehashing that story. I don't want to do that. But again, somebody at Disney, this isn't as woke, but this is censorship. Another person at Disney, talk shit. Tifa Black. I'm looking at the comments because a lot of times the comments have some cool stuff, but I don't know. But yeah, more bullshit. Don't see anything in the chat. It seems like people like more. It's funny. I try to get away from politics, but I got more interaction from you guys from the political stuff. So we will see. Just hate fakes, all of them. I get it. I'm sick of the fakeness too. Speaking of fakeness, everybody and their mom is willing to give their fucking firstborn to this motherfucker because he had a shitty CG Mark Hamill. All has been forgiven. Everything has been forgiven. We're going to talk. Do I have? I think actually, hold on a second. I want to make sure I'm covering. I don't want to talk shit. Not covering. Hold on a second. I meant to get. There's a story I forgot to cover or forgot to bring up. So we got another story. Hold on a second. Sorry, everybody. I think my fucking the little platform that my keyboard sits has got the gangster league going on, so that's not good. Hope my keyboard doesn't fall. But let's search this other story related to Star Wars that I didn't cover or didn't have ready to covers. Sorry about that. I'll vet for myself. How is everybody doing in the chat? If you hear this, just let me know how you're doing in the chat. If you can hear this, just how are you doing? What's going on in your world? And how are you enjoying the stream so far? I said this in my 150 sub stream. I care more about being good in entertaining you people than growth. If I never grow another subscriber and I entertain you people, oh no, Eric K, he's leaving me. Gotta run. Great hanging. I appreciate you here. Talk to you later. Everyone say bye to Eric. But yeah, let me know how you're doing. All good. Very cold right now. Okay, VW. Yeah. I care more about you guys. The 180 subs I have, enjoying the material. I gotta find a better I found the story, but I can't fucking find a good website to cover it from. But yeah, I care more about you guys enjoying my streams, enjoying my content, enjoying everything that I do, more than I care about more people joining. I want subs, obviously I want growth, but I want you people to love what you're doing. But I found the story I wanted to cover, and I'll cover it right after I talk about Jon Favreau. And I was piggybacking off of Kate's comment of fakes, if you guys remember. So I found the story, and we'll be coming back on camera. Slasher McSplitter, who's my main man, he's doing good. David Blair's doing good. I'm doing good. So there I am with my hat fucked up. A little bit better. Here's the article. The article we're about to cover. We'll get there in a second. We got more craziness. So before we get there, gotta talk about this man, Jon Favreau. He's everybody's favorite guy right now. A lot of people are willing to sacrifice their firstborn to him, like he got him out of Israel. But the Mandalorian creator and executive producer seemingly confirmed the Star Wars show will lead to the sequel tragedy. Again, people are willing to sacrifice their firstborn to Favreau. Seemingly all the ills, including the recent High Republic, has not deterred the love of Favreau, because he got Mark Hamill to be in a shitty CG scene at the end of a pretty good season. I like the 2 seasons of The Mandalorian. But I liked them because I was able to watch them casually, right? I was able to watch them not as a Star Wars fan, but a fan of just simple TV that is Star Wars edge. I liked it for a Star Wars edge, but I wasn't invested like it was a Star Wars show for real until they brought Luke back, and I was critical. And I've only been proven right by being cynical. All that's happened is I've been proven 100,000% right. I'm not right on shit in life, but I was 100% right to be cynical on Luke coming back, because all we've had is I hate white people. I hate crazy shit. Hold in your feelings. Last story. These streams will hurt people. And now this motherfucker is talking about maybe this will go right into the damn sequel tragedy any goddamn way after all this shit, after all this hype for Luke. We'll actually go into a story that refutes this right after. That's the story I forgot to have up there. All this hype for Luke, and you're even considering going into the Disney tragedy? Are you crazy? The interview, especially from Favreau, it's one thing if those woke idiots at the story group, but Favreau would even be thinking this. That interview peels back the curtain on what Favreau had planned from the beginning when he first pitched the show to Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy, and how he plans to move the show forward. First, Favreau detailed he pitched a story that would get back into the basics of Star Wars. He explained, I had a pitch concept for the following archetypes that influenced George Lucas, rather that was the Western, the samurai film, the World War II film, earlier space operas, cliffhangers, Flash Gordon. Looking at the films and archetypes that influenced George was a way for us to make a smaller story that would work for the scale of the small screen and get back to the basics, which I love about the show. My pitch was very simple, and at first Kathleen Kennedy was receptive to the ideas I was presenting. Later in the interview, Favreau was asked whether the return of Luke Skywalker scene and season 2 finale was always planned out. He answered, no. The story unfolded as I wrote it. The Mandalorian inherits a great deal from existing Star Wars stories, and when I write, that context is always a consideration. Favreau then insinuated that he's indeed taking the sequel trilogy into consideration, saying it became clear with the established continuity, certain things were likely to transpire. In a follow-up question, he specifically asked if he felt pinned in a narratively given the sequel trilogy reviews Luke's future. He replied, we have a tremendous amount of freedom before to us because of the gap in time between films. Dave Filoni and I are in constant discussion regarding how each story choice is impacted and what impact existing Star Wars material. I'd be remiss without pointing out that even before Mandalorian release, Favreau explained that the show will be exploring the origins of the First Order, which were introduced in the sequel trilogy. He also stated that what could happen in 30 years between celebrating the defeat of the Empire and then the First Order. You come into episode 7, and the First Order are not just starting out, they are pretty far along. Somehow things weren't necessarily managed well if they could if the galaxy ended up in hot water again like that. Obviously, that's basically admitting that making the First Order as they currently exist in these sequel trilogies, or the sequel trilogy, was a bad idea and undermined the whole fucking original trilogy. I agree with. The interview with the Writers Guild progressed. Favreau did credit himself for much of the Mandalorian's writing. He stated, you have to be prolific in this new medium because so much writing is required unless it's the Boba Fett show where you only have like 17 minutes of script, 17 pages of script. It's required when you're putting in that many hours of television on air. It's about 4 hours. It's about a movie worth of writing. Requires creativity, which is different from burnishing one piece of material as you do it for theatrical. Here, it's a river of writing, and it's not something where I have a big writing staff. Taking a lot of that responsibility myself isn't to say that it's not a collaborative process, but the actual typing out of it where the rubber hits the road is up falling up your shoulders when you're staring at the computer. Having understood, I think we're done with the storyline stuff. I think it just goes on to the article. I'll read it anyway. Having an understanding of how a story fits into a series. I'm not going to read it anyway. I lied. My collaborators, cooks. Now he claims he doesn't have a plan for the series and is writing as he goes, which is similar how the Lucasfilm operated the sequel trilogy. If you recall, Rian Johnson revealed to the New York Times back in 2017, before The Last Jedi release, that the sequel trilogy was not planned out. The director then explained, I figured there would be a big map on the wall with a story laid out, and it was not that at all. I was basically given the script for episode 8 or 7, and I got to watch dailies of what JJ was doing, and it was like, where do we go from here? That was awesome. And we know how the fuck that turned out. And they're talking about the Rian Johnson shit. So we're not gonna go back to the Rian Johnson can of worms. Favreau's comments to the Writers Guild are very similar. We're discussing the concept art shown at the end of each episode, how it pulls the curtain back on the writing process. Favreau stated, we also made the choice not to edit out things that didn't make it to air, so that changed. It really shows with the writer's notes of this idea and this ongoing pulpy. So let's talk about the writing process. That's what this interview is really about. And maybe they could think that's a clickbaity title, because I don't really want to get into the whole writing process. I really want to just go back into the real core of what I care about. Now, if you care about that creative process, by all means, check out this article about it. I know I was just basically reading it. The main thing is this is not planned out. He absolutely says that things that are likely to transpire. Now, that's not 100%. He does say they have freedom, but it implies there's a chance that all of this is leading to the beginning of the First Order. We've seen the First Order reference. We've seen potentially Snoke prototype in this series. So my question to the remaining people in the chat, and you can let me know, what do you think about Disney Star Wars? What do you think? I'm done with Star Wars. I'll probably cover it for this channel, but as a fan, I'm done. This the crazy shit with Christina Ariel, Justina Ireland, and Pablo Hidalgo. After all the years of bullshit we went through with Disney Star Wars, they lost all of the goodwill with me, which again, I was already cynical. They lost all the goodwill with Luke. But what do you think about this whole thing? And if you haven't subbed, like, share, all that good stuff, please do. I got to constantly get better at reminding people to do that. This has gone almost 2 hours. We still have some more stories to cover. But what do you think about this? I am frightened. This type of shit scares me. This is why I don't trust anybody. We've turned Jon Favreau into Jim Gordon, the one last good cop in Gotham, instead of Gotham is Lucasfilm. And, he's the one guy that's going to save us from craziness. It's like, really? He's just a guy doing a job. Yeah, he could be taking Kathleen Kennedy's spot. He's definitely talking like a fan. But we do see that this is still going to the First Order. And I don't want to see that. We already have a crap story as with the sequel trilogy. We have pretty much no good material from Disney outside of potentially Rogue One and the Mandalorian. And the Mandalorian was not perfect. I like it, but it was not perfect. And all we've gotten is wokeness, garbage. Most of the more important people involved with Lucasfilm has spent most of the time attacking fans, whether it's Kathleen Kennedy, Ryan Johnson, Christina Ariel, and Justine Ireland for this new High Republic shit, Pablo Hidalgo. They have a fucking, cancel signs or darts in fucking Luke Skywalker's head, or a big red X on Luke Skywalker. This group, they're done to me. Done. Let's see what you guys had to say. Hey, Disney had for like 15 years, so everyone was all about Star Wars being bought. I knew it was going to be fucked. To be honest, I've been anti-Disney for a while too, honestly. I was not hyped when they bought Star Wars or Marvel. But you know what I thought? Because of the merchandising in Disney, I thought they underpaid with Star Wars. I said, well, now that they have the Star Wars property, they can make even more money than this was already making. Remember, even between the trilogy, the prequels and the sequels, there was a ton of Star Wars merchandise. There was a ton of Star Wars fandom. Even though there was this gap of the Star Wars movie, you didn't feel like Star Wars was dead in that gap. And so I thought when Disney bought it with just off merchandising alone, that they would make their money back in a few years. And they figured a way to fuck it all up. Of course they did. Slash Up Splitter says, I have Star Wars fatigue, to be honest, and I get that. I'm getting there a little bit. Star Wars PTSD, a little bit, or TPSD. LOL, Rowan. True to something I said. It's the Star Wars shit at Pottery Bar. They said, well, listen, I know a lot of that sequel trilogy shit they lost money on. They didn't sell a lot of Rose Tico dolls. They sold a lot of Luke shit. And honestly, I know they made a lot of money off this fucking Luke Skywalker scene. But I don't trust Jon Favreau. I'm done with Disney in general. I'm done with Star Wars. I may cover it for the channel. I'm done with it. But let's go other side. So Yep, it's OG. Of course, it's OG shit. Because nobody wants this new shit. They'll sell a lot of OG shit. If they would have never fucked with that park and they would have just kept it OG, they would have made a lot of money off that Galaxy's Edge. And they do have it. I've never been there, but I've heard it's pretty simple to retrofit into what it should be. But the fact that Disney didn't or hasn't really profited off that investment is just hilarious. Normies only want Death Stars. Everybody, I want a Death Star. Not a normie. Everybody wants a Death Star. In a world where Batwoman gets renewed, companies clearly don't care about fan reactions. One man is here for you. Vigilante Williamson. In a world where Batwoman gets renewed, companies clearly don't care about fan reaction. Lucasfilm doesn't care. We are chumps. Eating up the slop KK serves up. So I think we are done for. I agree. This was a semi-populist channel, I guess, just from the standpoint that we have to do shit. Boycott. Listen, if you don't want to fucking watch Star Wars, don't fucking watch Star Wars. I'm done with it. I'm done. The Christina area was the camel, the straw that broke the camel's back. I'm like, after Pablo Hidalgo, after years of you ignoring fans, after years of you fucking with us, you guys can't fucking stop. Fuck you all. But this may be positive news to you. If this rumor is true, this is the story I wanted to cover and forgot to have the tab for. Doomcock covered this earlier. I was kind of watching this with my mouth agape. I couldn't believe this was even a thing. But a new Star Wars rumor says a sequel trilogy reboot will include unused footage of Han, Leia, and Luke. A new Star Wars rumor has popped up about a rebooted sequel trilogy. We heard this before, but we also heard rumors of the aforementioned Snyder Cut, and that is a real thing, so you never know about these rumors. A new Star Wars rumor floating around the internet suggests that Disney is preparing to reset the sequel trilogy by using unused footage of Han Solo, Princess Leia, and Luke Skywalker, which means they filmed them together and didn't use it. And remember, there was also a rumor for the fall of Skywalker, even though no one was going to watch that piece of shit. And there was a scene where they digitally had Han, Luke, and Leia, because obviously Carrie Fisher at that time who had passed. Speaking of Carrie Fisher's passing, something for the chat. This is one of those things that bothers me. And it may be true. Are you, if you know, Carrie Fisher has, through her life, before she passed, had a lot of issues. And I saw it suggested, it's something that I've thought about and wondered about. People suggested that she gave back into these issues for the pressure of being Princess Leia. I don't know if you guys remember, there's pressure for her to lose weight, being Leia, which I don't understand why she had to. She was older, no one cares. But she's, again, someone who had a lot of issues beforehand. There are a lot of people who think that being Princess Leia again had a impact on her life ending, which I hope not, but it's something I've always considered, and it kind of sticks with me, which makes it even more disgusting that they didn't have Han, Luke, and Leia together. It's like, if that is the case, where this added more stress to her life, you could have had one last time with them together. There's no real reason to have done a sequel without having them together. The fact that you made 3 films with no real intention of having them together. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? But they had enough sense to apparently film something, because this footage that they're talking about was live footage. Per the Luke UK tabloid Express, Disney is looking to retcon the sequel trilogy so that it never happened. The retcon will happen in a 3-season show that will feature 10 episodes each, according to Inside the Magic, a news and rumors site for all things Disney. Now, Inside the Magic, I've talked about some of their stuff before. I've actually just found them since starting this site, or starting this channel, I should say. Hit and miss, but they're not completely off base. Their rumors are as viable as anyone else's. And of course, Doomcock got a lot of the same rumors. Apparently, this article is based off of his rumor. But let's get into it. The reboot will include unused footage of Han Solo, Princess Leia, and Luke Skywalker filmed during the sequel trilogy. The scene would not be CGI. According to the Express report, the scene was filmed during the making of the sequel trilogy. Well, why wasn't it used? Why did you film this and not use this? The rumor also suggests that George Lucas will return as a director for the new miniseries. Could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. He did the prequels, and he's a lot older. But I think his influence had a lot of impact on The Mandalorian being good. We know he was a part of the set. So, I mean, this sounds promising. And also, let's be honest, with them having so much success with The Mandalorian and that spinoff with all these shows, even if they weren't, even if there was no fan backlash or no fan hatred for the sequel trilogies, that's still a bottleneck. Those sequel trilogies are a writer's bottleneck. And let's be honest, the writers, not just at Disney, but in general in Hollywood, are not good. So it actually behooves them, just from a technical standpoint, competency standpoint, to just say, you know what, fuck the sequel trilogy, because we're not good enough to match it anyway. So that's one positive on their side. If you care about this, like I said, I'm done with Disney and Star Wars, but I know I'm still covering the fan stuff. I still love this stuff. Still want to be a fan, but shit like this pisses me. The previous stories piss me off. But let's get into this, or finish up this. The rumor comes from our beloved future ruler of Earth, and someone whose show was on New Year's Eve, going into New Year's Day, as one of the many fans who was also on Doomcock himself. If Disney were to remake the sequel trilogy will remade exclusively for Disney Plus, according to my sources, he said in a recent video, and I think it came out today or yesterday, with a story being spread out between 8 to 10 miniseries and 3 seasons of full series. Now, this sounds familiar. Back in the summer, there was an unconfirmed internet rumor that Disney wanted to reset the entire Star Wars cinematic universe, erasing The Farce Awakens, The Ass Jedi, and The Fall of Soy Walker. There was a better title than Fall of Soy Walker that someone said. I can't remember it. From the timeline, as I wrote about for the Desert News, or the Deseret News. This retcon comes from, again, the future ruler of Earth, Doomcock, previously reported The Rise of Skywalker, which is actually how I found Doomcock, was The Rise of Skywalker rumors. That's how I found the whole fandom business, was The Rise of Skywalker rumors, and that algorithm led me somehow to Yellow Flash, and I remember that Our Time Has Come shit. I used to watch his shit, which got me to Tug, and then Doomcock got me to Gary, and then all of a sudden I was just knee-deep in fandom business. It started with Doomcock's Rise of Soy Walker videos in late 2019. But it suggested there was entered turmoil at Disney about the new direction of the Star Wars franchise. Because of that, Lucasfilm was rumored to be considering retconning Star Wars, so the sequel trilogy existed in an alternate timeline. So this let me see. This asks the big question: should you believe it? Should you care? So another one. Disney nor Lucasfilm have confirmed the rumor, nor if they confirmed the rumor from earlier this summer. It's unlikely something this massive will be revealed early, though. That said, you shouldn't totally dismiss it. Experts told me back in July, sometimes studios leak information on purpose, hoping the information gets out to the public and content creators. And actually, to preface Doomcock's video, he actually said that. He said that his videos are used, and his stuff is used these days in their live streams, that companies actually pay attention to their stuff. I've been on live streams, and he said, hey, companies are actually watching and looking at the chat and monitoring the chat. And I've been told they monitor the chat. So let me know how you feel. Oh, David Blair, I appreciate it. I know a lot of people have to go. Got to go until next stream. I appreciate you being here, David Blair. Please hit the like button on the way out if you have not. Thank you for coming. I'll get to the comments before David Blair's in a second. But yeah, he said people monitor his channel. And a lot of these bigger YouTubers, Gary, Doomcock, these studios would be stupid not to monitor those channels, especially studios who actually care. So apparently they're looking, if you want to have an impact on this, you can go to that video I talked about for Doomcock. In fact, I think this may link to it. Let's see if it links. No, it just links to the damn. I was hoping we would get a link to the video. Of course, they don't link to Doomcock. Did they link to the shadow?
I have a
they
challenge
link to
for
the
all
video.
of you. Go to
Okay.
every computer in your
And
house, your mom's, your dad's, your sister, your
on
brother's
this,
computer, and
thing. So I'm gonna put the video in the chat if you want to check it out. You can probably even find my comment if that. So that's the video that Doomcock did. I always want to give all the creators their flowers. I see there was quite a bit stuff. Comments. Let's see the comments. As far as this goes, man, like I said, I personally have given up on Disney and Star Wars, but if you haven't, does this perk your interest? Does the potential of a sequel trilogy series where it's retcon pique your interest? And another thing on Doomcock's channel, if you do check out that video, is apparently they would recast some of the characters. Maybe we wouldn't get Daisy Ridley as Rey. Maybe we wouldn't even get Rey at all, which is crazy. So I wouldn't be surprised. Love her. And when Harry met Sally. Did I say anything about Meg Ryan? I don't know who that was in reference to. Sorry, Rowan. I have a fish memory, so I can't remember what I just talked about. I believe the pressures. You agree with that. You believe that the pressures of the sequels led to Carrie's death. A lot of people do. That's why I figured I'd talk about it. It's sad if it did. I definitely think it should be considered. Saying hi to Anthro. Hell to Sentinel. Think her drug use is the real cause of her early death. I agree. I think the issue is she's somebody who already had these issues, who had that shit intensified. So the question is, would she have gotten back into drugs if she didn't have the pressure of these sequels? And that's something nobody really knows. Sentinel is here. Yes, he is. Period. Boss lady, you gonna hurt your back. Is not budging from the helm. I hear nothing to suggest otherwise. Yet she's never dying. I've said this time and time again, even before I was a content creator in chats. Kathleen Kennedy has Leslie Headland under contract for a reason. You do not hire Harvey's Weinstein assistant for her to get fucking coffee. You hire her because she knows where the bodies are buried. Because if you think Weinstein was the only one being Weinstein in Hollywood, I have a bridge in Brooklyn and one in San Francisco that I can give you for a good price. But yeah, there's nothing to suggest otherwise. If they do serve up Han, Luke, and Leia, then they're baiting for a hook. Same as Jedi, Luke, and Mando. I couldn't agree more if I wanted to, Anthro Perion. Could not agree more. That's exactly my point. All of this shit is just bait and switch, hook, and bullshit. It's like, are you talking about Carrie Fisher and Harry met Sally? In like ways, even if she sobers, that stuff sticks with you. Yeah. I think it's a combination of a lot of things. A lot of things, man. I really that's why I brought it up, because like I said, I have a struggle with substance abuse, but mental issues. And I do think, listen, I get pressure from just talking to you guys, right? Oh, jeez. I still have, look at this. Look at, well, I've been working on this for a few days. But I've had to get a little of this just to deal with you guys. And I love you guys, right? It's only 7 to 10. Sometimes I can get up to 10 you guys. And it's a lot of pressure. So I get it. I really get it. I couldn't imagine being Princess fucking Leia. So I definitely think that there's a lot of pressure, but she also had those demons and Hollywood adds to that. So I mean, I get it. You guys say hey to each other. Okay, not much. 4:30 here. Just woke and went to rat little. Do sleepy eyes. You guys say hi to each other. Chilling. Haven't watched Operation Endgame stream yet. Oh, we talk about the slasher stream, which I actually came in a little towards the end. That's David Blair leaving. I didn't see the movie actually when I did the stream. And it's me talking about the Doomcock video. Yeah, let's go back. Let's see, talk about the stream. Carrie Fisher. Yeah, I caught that later on Kate. Oh, Vigilante Slow. But yeah, I'm not really excited about this. I'm done with Disney Star Wars, as I said. Nothing they do is going to bring me back. Nothing they do is gonna hype me up. Nothing they do. They should have had Han, Luke, and Leia in their original sequel trilogy. The fact that you are even considering rebooting and retconning a series that only ended 13 or 14 months ago? Yeah. The Fall of Soy Walker came out the end of 2019. It's only 13 or 14 months old. I know last year with the Coof feels like 20 years all in one, but that movie's only 14 months old max. They were shooting this movie 14 and a half, 15 months ago still because they were shooting up until release. And they're already talking about retcon. That's insane. And yes, it would be cool for them to do it, but like, do it right the first time. You never get another chance to make a first impression. So, like, just it's still a mess that Disney has to go through this. And the more as I'm sitting here watching this, like, why are we? Listen, there's nothing wrong with saying the end of Star Wars is the Return of the Jedi. That's the end of the story, and that's it. That's how we have to operate. Fuck Disney. Why are we going through hoops, crawling through grass, twisting our heads to try to get around just because we happen to have liked this franchise growing up or we have a reverence for it? Yeah, could have influenced us. Could have been, the thing that got us through a lot of tough times. Let it be. And let it be. Don't focus on what Disney's doing. Don't focus on any of this new bullshit. I may cover it for the channel. I don't know where my channel is going to be towards the end of this year, right? When the Book of Boba Fett comes, I have no idea where I'm going to be or what I'm going to be doing. So I may cover it, but I think my heart is out of the whole Star Wars bullshit. You think I like Operation Endgame? Yeah, I may. Maybe check it out. Operation Endgame better than Disney Star Wars? Yes. Yes, everything is better than Disney Star Wars except Batwoman. I know you want a Batwoman review. After period, I will do a Batwoman video, a single Batwoman video. I will not be covering the series. I made it 20 minutes into the show, and I will be doing a review of those 20 minutes and let you know why I will not ever watch Batwoman. It is not so bad as good. It goes past the so bad as good part, back into bad. It's terrible. The long and short of it. But yeah, Disney Star Wars dropped the ball, and they could never get that back. And if you're done with Star Wars, be done with Star Wars. I appreciate you still being on the stream, Slasher, man. I know you're done. And unfortunately, we're not done with Star Wars. I forgot I heard the stories. We're almost done with this podcast. We have this story. We have to talk about Ninja getting what he fucking deserves. And then we have to talk about some good news, including a neutral story that maybe Vigilante's future, at least I wish it was. Star Wars writer Bria Livornia and Brian Long calls fan racist. For fuck's sake. Every week this year, we've had 4 weeks this year. Four. Maybe is this the fifth? Let me look. Maybe it's the fifth. Let me see. Because the Friday and then but no, 4 full weeks. 1, 2, 3, 4 full weeks. 4 full weeks of this year. Every fucking week, we have a new motherfucking Star Wars writer calling everybody racist, literally, or being ignorant to the fans every single week. Paulo Hidalgo didn't technically call fans racist. He just laughed at them for caring. So we have Paulo Hidalgo, we have Justina Ireland, we have Christina Ariella, we have the other bitch I just talked about. I already forgot her fucking name. CK something. The bitch that wrote the Ahsoka book. Shouldn't call her a bitch. She didn't do anything. The girl. I need to reserve the negative shit for the assholes, like the politicians. She's not a bitch. She's just I can't think of a word. Is there a female equivalent for simp? If there's that, then that's what she is. In any event, every goddamn week, every goddamn day, it seems like. This is why I'm done. Just like I said, I'm not watching the fucking Super Bowl because of all the bullshit that's got other interesting. I'm not watching this. I don't care about this shit. Jesus Christ. I know I'm covering it, but it's like I'm covering it because we have to deal with it all the goddamn time. Some people are coming to entertainment and coming into escapism to escape. And we can't fucking escape. We can't fucking escape. I talked about earlier. I'm listening to a coworker just talking about work. Back here in the background as news. They're talking about white supremacy and all this other shit, referring to the fucking old ladies and shit who went to the Capitol after they were let in. It's like, fucking stop. Let us fucking live for 5 seconds. You're probably laughing at me saying everything's better than Disney Star Wars. You should look up Perry Chan intro when the crowd is cheering for Batwoman. You should Perry Chan an intro when the crowd is cheering for Batwoman. They look up, it would be your mask, hair, her body. I did not think about that, baby. Maybe I should. That would be dope for a little intro, right? You know, man, I may steal that idea, though, Perry. I appreciate it. All right. Let's get into another story where someone from Disney Star Wars attacks fans. This is why no matter what they do, it doesn't fucking end. If you were somebody who cried when Luke Skywalker showed up, and I get that, I'm not making fun of you for crying, but let it be known. I want you to know that these are the same motherfuckers who get to use Luke. These are the same motherfuckers who get to use anybody you care about. These are the same motherfuckers in charge of Star Wars still to this day. If you think Jon Favreau can help everything when they're still determined to put out the High Republic, determined to put out material in books that emboldens this bullshit. If you think that Jon Favreau is going to say this again, I have a bridge in Brooklyn, have a bridge in San Francisco. I can't say the bridge in Detroit because it's actually a private bridge going into Canada. But seriously, I got a canyon in where's the Grand Canyon? New Mexico or Arizona? Wherever the fuck the Grand Canyon, I got a canyon there too. And I can give it all to you for the low price of $500 million. Anyways, Star Wars writer Brie Lavorgna has called both Cyberfall creator Ethan Van Sciver and Star Wars critic Ichibaka to be the platform. Lavorgna, that's a local place in Detroit. Lavorgna has written numerous articles for StarWars.com, with her most recent being published in September 2020, entitled "Empire at 40: The Evolution of Costumes in Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back." Whatever. As reported by Ichibaka, Disney Star Wars is dumb because it fucking is. Lavorgna accused both Ichibaka and Van Sciver of abuse before calling them to be deplatformed. On top of that, she had called Star Wars fans racist. For fuck's sake. You know, with all this use of the racist shit, it really hurts when real racism happens. Because there are some true fucking racists, as we see. And these motherfuckers use that word all the goddamn time. Lavorgna wrote on Twitter, nothing's going to change until people like Itchy and EVS, who heard abuse for years, are deplatformed. Bullshit. Well, listen, they deplatform for Twitter is probably a fucking blessing for both of them. The Star Wars writer then added, and nothing's going to change until fandom confronts their own racism. This crap has gone on for far too long. Cool. I'm just not going to be a fan. Until Disney Star Wars confronts their fucking racism, no, there's nothing they can do to get my fucking money back. Till Disney can confront their fucking racism, we should not give those fuckers a dime. I'm covering WandaVision. I'm not paying for Disney Plus as a family member who's paying for it. So they're not getting any extra money out of me. Fuck you, Disney. Fuck you, Star Wars. Young has written, is somebody else? Oh, yeah. Was echoed by fellow Star Wars writer Brian Young, some cuck. Young, who has written for StarWars.com in the past, although he hasn't written for a website since 2009, and more recently he's been writing for Sci-Fi Wire. So he's just a true simp. This Brian Young, true simp. If you want to look up what a simp is, this motherfucker's a simp. Do not contact him. Do not contact any of these people. Do not contact any of these motherfuckers.
Stand away! All of you! I don't want his mom. Do you understand?
Nothing for their mob lawyers to use. Do not contact these assholes, please. They're assholes. Do not contact them. He just says you're absolutely correct, like the simp he is. EVS will react to the accusations on his YouTube channel, Comic Artist Pro. Secrets, which along with Bounty Getting Comics, was added to a ban list on a saltier than crate subreddit. I don't know what that is. Van Sciver
opens up his video stating, "I have never seen such nitwits, nincompoops, ne'er-do-wells, and complete total nerds as the one who has taken over Star Wars, who are working for Lucasfilm right now, who are running this franchise into the ground." They killed it for me. I'm that guy, by the way. I'm done with the bullshit. Later in the video, Van Skyber stated, "I've been canceled. I'm a victim of cancel culture. I've already been canceled. I'm not working for anybody but you guys. I don't work for anybody but you guys. I work for myself. I make comic books and I sell them directly to you. You guys see them. You guys see Cyberfrog and Rainbow the Brute." He's right. He can't. It's a good thing he's become so successful on his own because he can't work for the comic industry anymore. He is the comic industry in one regard, but if he wasn't, I mean, who knows how he would be. It's a good thing he had the foresight to do what he did because now everybody's trying to copy him. Even Keanu Reeves wants to be EVS, like him or not. He continues, "You can't hurt me anymore in any other way except to deplatform me. Deplatforming means taking away by me speaking to you guys. I speak the truth to you guys. I didn't take away his funding because, I mean, most of his money is coming from his hype of his YouTube channel, and he gets a lot of money off the super chats. So I'm sure that will hurt him economically, which is bullshit. You know what I mean? And I don't agree with everything EVS has said or done either. There's some of that Commons Gate shit early on is like, it's a little unsavory even for me. Even if they're assholes, you don't go like that. But you don't deplatform anyone. This deplatform, this censorship shit, fucking stop. There's a reason. It's it's the First Amendment. Free speech is necessary. The only thing standing between the complete and utter annihilation of Star Wars and terror being transformed into a corrupt, progressive, soy-based, disgusting hellhole is me and Itchy and us, all of us, the fandom business as a whole, even shadow as small as mine. We all have an impact. All of you people who are on all the other channels, if you care about this franchise, which they're done with me, but if you care about it continuing, it's going to be us. I'm not battling for this. I'm not fighting. There's a reason I'm not watching Batwoman. My life's too short. My life's too short to fight battles I don't give a fuck about. I don't give a fuck. Star Wars. I'm gonna play a Star Trek. I'm gonna play a Star Trek clip for what I think of Star Wars.
They are dying.
Let them die.
Let it die. I have no interest in preserving this fucking dead franchise. None. But this is the channel that you guys enjoy, and I certainly enjoy. I love my YouTube channel. They need to take it away so they can fully implement their corrupt, disgusting, sword-based ideas and do it in impunity. Van Skyber continues. I agree. That's why they want to deplatform everybody. They don't want criticism. That's why they're going through. That's why they're fucking putting people in jail for memes. They don't want criticism. And they're not the left. I'm done with the left, right. They're the establishment. There is no left and right. That's a fake paradigm. You can call them leftists, but there is no left and right. It's just the establishment versus us. He had these rancid, soy, lactating perverts want to take away my YouTube channel so they can make Star Wars even more lame. Listen, EVS. I know you know one thing. He's a bit full of himself. They're going to ruin Star Wars regardless of whether your channel's up or not. They already are. They've already ruined Star Wars. It's already ruined and destroyed. They're trying to resurrect it, but I don't think they're going to be able to do it, at least not for me. Ichibaka will also respond to the call to deplatform him on Disney Star Wars is dumb. He wrote, people sometimes ask, why is censorship such a common tool for the fringe left or the establishment? Because really these SJWs work for the establishment. It's because SJWs are fully aware that their deeply moronic ideology is incapable of withstanding debate in an environment of free speech. He concluded silencing the political opposition is the only intellectual option available to them. So what do you think? More censorship, this sip, this bitch. What do you think about these assholes? What are your thoughts? Remember, do not contact this whore. Do not contact this sip. Leave them alone because they'll just deplatform me. Leave these assholes alone. Leave them these assholes alone again.
Stand away! All of you! I don't want anything for his mom. Do you understand?
Yeah. Don't give these fuckers anything. Don't contact these assholes. Yes, the emotional reaction to Luke is nothing to be ashamed of. But if you're showing your hand, you're telling them, serve us, your slop will keep coming. Exactly. That was the big issue.
That was the big issue. But I understand. God damn it, he's some people's hero. If they had done, Batman is my favorite fictional character. Luckily for him, he's kind of bulletproof. The 60s Batman series means you can make Batman black, you can make him a lesbian woman of color, but Bruce Wayne will always be Batman. And he will always be cool. If you make a rendition of Bruce being a cuck, Tom King, it doesn't matter. We can make a new one because there's been so many different versions of Batman. As I just dropped my water. Hopefully the top is still on it. And it was. So I don't have water on my feet. But there's so many damn renditions of Batman. He really is unruinable. But most characters aren't that lucky. Luke Skywalker has a one of the best hero's journey in film. A clear beginning, middle, and end for his arc. And they fucked it up. And they destroyed the entire series with it. And when he came back, because he's the hero, because he's the person a lot of people grew up with, because he's so beloved, it had emotional response. Again, if they had done something, if they were able to ruin Batman, and this was his return, I can see myself crying. I almost cried at this. I got emotional. I didn't cry, but I got emotional. It hit me in the feels, and then 5 seconds after the show ended, I was like, just like this. They're telling us to serve us your slop. And I just knew what was coming. And I've been proven correct. Check back at that stream. It was around whatever the day it happened. I did a couple streams. I did a review stream on the episode, the actual episode where Luke Skywalker came back. And then I did I did just another video later in the day, just kind of giving my reaction because everyone was so. I did my review with like blind without knowing the reaction, and then afterwards I got the reaction, realized I was in the minority, and had a video on that. So check those videos out if you're interested. I think Anthony Perry was actually in one of those streams, so he may have already seen it. But yeah, check that out. I told you right off jump, this is going to be nothing but bullshit. Cancel culture and deplatforming is an attack on your First Amendment. The whole country should be up in arms about this behavior. You know what a lot of the problem is? Like, we can get the right, left. There are so many normies who don't know this shit is going on. There are just millions and millions of normies who have no idea that any of this shit has happened, even still, and that their right to free speech has been under attack. My video clips echo. You know what? I've heard that, and I don't know if I think that's a platform thing. Like, I think that's StreamYards who does that. Because if you notice, other people's videos sometimes will echo. Because like the regular videos don't echo. I could even play one the clips. So yeah, I see that echo. That's just I don't think it's StreamYards. Every time the anti-competitive weaklings weaponize cancel culture and empowered by the companies acting on their complaints, they are eroding the bedrock of your wonderful country. Yes, unfortunately, the bedrock of our country is already eroded to shit. We are in North Korea now. Echo. The video clips echo. Yeah, I can't control it. I can even prove to you it's not the clips themselves. Let me get off camera and I'll actually play the clip. I think I can do that. I'm not sure if I can play live from StreamYard. So let me see if I can, just to prove to you that it's not me. It's not even the clip itself. It's just fucking StreamYards as a platform that does that. And I'm not sure if they do that because they can tell there's a copyright thing. It's about fucking. There you go.
Stand away!
Okay, I think you can hear it. But here's the clip. Okay, had to make sure the file name didn't dox me. But here's the clip by itself that I show, and this is it playing from my computer.
Stand away! All of you!
As you see, it just plays.
I don't want anything for his mob lawyer to use. You understand?
See it? That's StreamYard doing the echo by itself.
Stand away!
So we could get out of that. See, that's completely all on StreamYard with the echo. Let me make sure my thing doesn't pop up midstream. That's what she said. But yeah, StreamYard is responsible for the echo, so I can't do anything about that. Unfortunately, that's all on them. All on them. Yeah, just block them people real silly. Do what they do to us and block them. Or shit, if you're really feeling frisky, Drop Twitter altogether. You don't need Twitter. I get Instagram. I get TikTok. All these other ones. I get Facebook. You do not need Twitter. Really should get rid of Facebook and all the other stuff too. But for fuck's sake, Twitter is the most useless piece of social media that exists. Speaking of social media, got to do some more promotion. If you have not followed me on Minds and you are on Minds, please follow me. If you are not on Minds, get on Minds, because the long term of you not having to deal with this cancel culture is there being alternative platform. Oh, I want to get to that last. I don't want to show you the positive stories yet. But there has to be alternative platforms so they have less power. And we have more power because the power should actually be to the people. I think of Matrix, the Matrix, Agent Smith says, what good is a phone call when you have a cat about to speak? Jesus. That's a great scene. That's a great scene. That first Matrix is so great. But yeah, and I'm thinking of the quote, when you cut out a man's tongue, you're not proving him to be a liar. You're proving yourself to be afraid of what he has to say. So it's the same sort of thing. Most people's emotions were steeping from is my Star Wars again. It's from this is what X and I love together, associated with X, not Star Wars. Yeah, there was a lot of, man, I used to watch this with my dad. My mom's a Star Wars fan. I said this in another stream. I went over her house, her apartment the other day. She was talking about watching Return of the Jedi and why does everything suck. And we were watching Solo and saying it both saying it sucked. So yeah, there's an association. Like, man, I watched this with my family when I was a kid, and here's Luke Skywalker again. So yeah, I definitely get that. And thank you for subscribing, Rod Thunderheart. He actually subscribed before the stream. Not sure if he had to resub. Shout out again to Clobber Times. He was the reason he subbed. I was just in a channel Clobber Times stream, and he just said, hey, what's up to my buddy Vigilante Williamson and Rod Thunderheart, who is known in this community. If you watched any Doomcock or Gary stream, you've seen his super chats. So that was fun. Yeah, it's not me, it's StreamYard. It's the StreamYard platform echoing it. Yeah, no echo. Because I played it straight from the computer and there was no echo. Yeah. So anytime I play a clip, it's just going to do that. I don't have any control over that. It's all StreamYard. It's completely StreamYard's choice. No echo that time. Follow me on Minds. Follow me for Minds. Minds is fun. F is for family. I forgot the rest of the song. U is for you and me. But yeah, Minds is very fun. I like Minds as a platform. It's better. Oh, okay, I don't know what's going on there. Nice. My dad likes watching it. It doesn't like to do stuff. He haven't seen Mando. My parents don't stream stuff. Yeah, I get that. But yeah, I'm just done with this franchise. I mean, with just the stuff I covered today, you see why I'm done with this franchise. This fucking podcast, 2.5 hours. Holy smokes. I appreciate all you people. A lot of you people have been here most of the whole way. We are in the home stretch of this stream. I appreciate anyone who's been here. We got to talk. If I had to clip, it would be echoing, but I would play it. Who do I have as my avatar? Oops, didn't mean to do that. Get to do this to see which avatar, make sure I have the right Joker. Because my man Ninja, I'm going to do this to do this. You get what you fucking deserve. So, Ninja, if you guys remember, I know there's a lot of Airing July fans had a lot of shit to say about Airing July and the coof and the lockdown, and he even sent some of his ninja bots unintentionally, more than likely, at Airing July, different part of the coof, and now he's on the wrong side of history, it seems. Ninja faces a wave of backlash for refusing to lecture audience on racism and white privilege. You are a bunch of privileged white people who are racist. Please give me money. There, I'm just like every other corporation. I did it, so they can't say I didn't do it. Popular streamer Tyler Ninja Blevins has come under fire for asserting that it is not his duty to educate younger audience members on such serious social concepts such as racism or white privilege, which is not a concept, but rather the responsibility belongs to their own parents. Thank you for going Charles Barkley. I am not a role model. Raise your kids. I agree with this, by the way. But in getting what you fucking deserve, they came back at him. Yeah, Rowan Ginger Raven, who actually saw on Air July stream just in the chat before starting this one, actually got delayed the stream. He indeed had shit to say to one young Ripper. Ninja shared his opinion on the topic during a recent interview with the New York Times, or the state-sponsored media North Korea newspaper. First touching upon the subject when asked by staff writer David Marquise if being watched live for hours a day after day by tens of thousands of people while you're playing a video game had an effect on the streamer's sense of self. Streaming makes you super self-conscious. I can agree. That's why I have a mask on. Ninja explained to Marquise, if I didn't have a wife and family to talk to, everyone's like, don't listen to what people say. All right, but when you're reading, you suck, motherfucker. That's what I'm assuming the expletive says 20 times in the chat. It's gonna get in your head. You're also gonna get a bunch of positive things in the chat. But asked by Marquise, if these instances of immature insults were just a part of gaming that you've resigned yourself to, and if such vulgarity could be mitigated somehow, Ninja asserted that it was not gaming, but internet culture. I agree with that. At large, that encourage such behavior. People are behind the screen, the streamer explained. They say what they want and can get away with it. You have complete anonymity. Your information and data are precious and should remain private, but it sucks there are kids who can say such racist things and be incredibly aggressive and threatening the women all. Of course, this is his fault. Talk about getting what you fucking deserve. He brought up the racism and aggression and women online, other leftist states that you're supposed to be worried about. But it all comes down to parenting. You know who your kid is. You want to know who your kid is. Listen to him when he's playing video games and when he thinks you're not, which is good advice. Streamer did turn to the topic of racism, asking Marquise, how does a white kid know he has white privilege? He doesn't. He does not have white privilege. That's how, Marquise. He does not have white privilege. He is not more privileged just because he has less melanin in his skin. If he has more privilege, it's because his parents have more money. There's wealth privilege. There is no such thing as white privilege. Stop trying to normalize a fucking topic. I talked about this in my last stream about culture, about them culturally normalizing shit. They normalize fucking this crazy toxic masculinity to the point where I'm watching WandaVision, and Fireball said it too, and we are thinking that a woman who wants to procreate, you know, how all humanity got here, is sexist. We are literally talking about how sexist procreation is because Wanda wants a child and a husband. It's sexist. That's how crazy they've pushed the culture. He continued, is it my job to have this conversation with the kid? No, because the thing that's going on in my head is this kid's doing this on purpose to troll me. If someone says a racial slur on someone else's stream, it could potentially get that streamer banned. It's awful, but that's the first thing I think of. Athlete Ninja's opinions that parents should take responsibility for the child's upbringing. Soon found the streamer under fire on social media, particularly from other video game media personalities. Streamer or not, it's 100% your job as a cisgender white straight man to educate your audience / people around you on possible racism, white privilege. Again, white privilege doesn't exist. Possible sexism, homophobia, which I'm probably going to get killed for, transphobia, and because those issues are historically, systemically. This isn't true. This tweet is not true. And of course, this guy's a founder of the Bully Hunters organization. The failed Bully Hunters organization. Natalie Zombie Unicorn Casanova. It's not true though. It's just narrative. It's just cultural narrative. You can leave deeper conversations about serious social issues to parents, but the bare minimum for cisgender heterosexual white men is to acknowledge those issues and be openly against them. Casanova, rated ninja, white men throughout history created these problems. They are responsible for them. This bullshit. But that's what I mean. You keep culturally, they have beat this narrative into their heads so deep that there's no going back. They have established white privilege as a cultural thing that we all have to answer. I'm tired of shit like that. I'm tired of shit being established And we have to constantly answer. I'm tired on every stream. Well, we have such a diverse group. Why do we have to answer that shit? Why do we have to say we have a diverse group on this stream? We just have people on the stream. It doesn't matter what our backgrounds are. Why the fuck do I have to get the Shaka Zulu question? I joke to Culture Casino, but why do I have to get why do we have to keep all answering the straw man when they're not going to get rid of logic? They're gonna constantly beat this white privilege shit into the ground. Casanova conclude her message to Ninja by saying, you know whose job it is to educate others about racism and white privilege in the U.S., black folks. Okay. Let's actually act as if Casanova is correct. And there's so much racism and white privilege in the U.S. Doesn't it behoove the group that is facing such oppression to actually want to change? Because if the group can't change it themselves, what you're saying about black folks is they need other people to act on their behalf, that they're helpless. And they're not. We're not. They're the ones who have been systemically and historically oppressed, said the streamer. And no, they're the ones who are consistently being historically and systemically used as shields and it's used as fucking safety nets, as umbrellas to block all the shit that you guys talk shit about. But cis het. This is again cis het because cis hetero. No, just oh. This is why I get so angry. Like, this is what I mean. They're culturally, because I've seen this cis het before. And they're just like establishing their shit. Oh, cis hetero, white men are bad, this, that, and that. They've beat that shit to the ground. But this is, again, Ninja getting what he deserves. He brought up racism in his interview, and then, of course, people tweet bullshit. By saying this, Hannah Rutherford, of course, someone like Hannah Rutherford definitely knows about all the oppression black people have faced in this country. Why wouldn't she, right? By saying this, Ninja's displaying white privilege. Hey, at Ninja, you're quite right when you say it is your job to teach kids about racism and white privilege. You have a platform for millions audience with plenty of both, which makes it your fucking responsibility. So this is just more backlash. It's not my job to sit down, make a video with all my audience, do a lesson on civil rights and how not to be racist. I show that I'm a good person through my actions and how I treat people around me every single day. If any of these people tweeting actually watched Ninja, and talk about the times he's actually spoke out about it. But the whole point of this is Ninja's a leftist. He was talking about his leftist shit in his interview. And of course, there was a backlash. Of course, you get what you fucking deserve. And that's what happened. So we're pretty much done with the stream. We got to get to the positive news. Like I said, this has been a long stream, almost 3 fucking hours. And I like to end on some positive news. So since I'll probably be deplatformed, especially after this podcast, we'll see which part gets me deplatformed. I'm going to need a new job. And this Japanese man has the perfect job for a vigilante. He rents himself out to do nothing, and he has thousands of clients. Man in Tokyo who rents himself out to other people to do nothing has been inundated with requests, and now he's getting paid for it. This is the dream job. Maybe it's a nightmare job. We'll see. Shoji Morimoto, 37, started advertising him as a person who can eat and drink and give simple feedback but do nothing more in June of 2018. I offer myself for rent as a person who does nothing, Morimoto wrote in his first tweet about his unique service. Is it difficult for you to shop on your own? Are you missing a player or your team? Do you need someone to keep in place for you? I can't do anything except easy things. Since then, he's received over 3,000 requests. He originally offered his services for free, but now charges about 10,000 yen, which is $100, $96, just to reduce the volume of requests and to discourage the time wasters. Excuse me. Morimoto says he sees, let me go off camera because I might sneeze. Sorry about that. Let me mute real quick so I can blow my nose in peace. Sorry about that. Just didn't want to sneeze on stream. He basically is a professional personal assistant. That is a lot, not nothing. But I'm gonna need another job after I get deplatformed. Let's see. On average, he sees about 3 to 4 clients a day. People rent him for a variety of reasons, but most are bored and lonely and simply want to be listened to. He participated in video game sessions, accompanied those filing for divorce, and caught butterflies with strangers in the park. I was glad to be able to take a walk with someone while keeping a comfortable distance where we didn't have to talk, but could if he wanted to, one client posted online. I'd been slack about visiting the hospital, but I went because he came with me, another wrote. One client said she has rented more motel on at least 10 occasions. She's asked him to stay beside her when meeting a man for the first time. Also had him talk about her views on love, which she did not feel comfortably talking about to her friends. Moto has apparently 268,000 Twitter followers, has quit his full-time job publishing to do nothing. Or as Kate says, he's basically a personal assistant. When asked why he thinks so many people are interested in services, he says, I'm not a friend or an acquaintance. I'm free of the bothersome things that accompany relationships, but can ease people's sense of loneliness. Maybe it's something like that for me. So, because I use words that you're not supposed to use, hell clobbering times on this stream, and has talked a lot of shit about the government, I will probably be deplatformed. So I will need something to do, and I am offering my service. I can do nothing for you in the same vein as Morimoto. So if you're looking for someone to do nothing, please follow me on Minds and send a message. Hell, Climber Times, you're coming in at the tail end of my stream. You missed quite a doozy. Quite a doozy. Yeah. So we will end it off with the good news. That was not necessarily good or bad news, but it's just an interesting story I found and looking for some good news. Here's some 2 pretty cool stories. A man gives his brand new poncho to a mail carrier who's delivering mail in the pouring rain. A man in California noticed his mail carrier was unprepared for the pouring rain, so he gave him his brand new poncho. The kind act was captured on a family's Ring camera. Gregory Martinez said he spotted a mailman in the rain in West Covina and felt he needed to do something to help. So our mailman was out 6:30 p.m. delivering our mail tonight, unprepared for the pouring rain, and I knew I had to help him any way I was able to. Thank goodness I had a new plastic poncho, so I decided to call him back. But the mailman wasn't able to slip it on because he was carrying on so much on a headlamp. So Martinez and his daughter helped him put it on. Said the mailman's was priceless and asked that we take care of one another. So that's just a cool story about someone giving their poncho to a mailman. And this is also really cool story. This Koof bandit leaves a $1,400 tip for a staff at a restaurant. This is really, really cool. Oh, no problem being late, man. I just appreciate it. Sorry to be late, but was getting some rest. Hey, no problem. I couldn't actually catch all of your stream as I left in the comments because I got a call. Had to kind of rewatch it. But no problem, man. Whenever you can show up, I appreciate it. Customer at a Colorado restaurant left a $1,400 tip with a message that said, Koof sucks. It does. $200 for each employee today. Wow. Notch Top Bakery and Cafe owner Nela Kamatou. This name? It's a fucking doozy. But Nalia, that name, says the customer came into the restaurant on Wednesday for breakfast. When he received the bill, he asked the waitress how many people were working that day. He ended up leaving a tip with $1,400 with instructions to give to each of the 7 employees. That truly brought tears to all the servers and cooks. You know, nobody ever thinks of the cooks. The cooks were just surprised and shocked. We were all so shocked. She told KMGH, we thanked him We did thank him, but we felt like we didn't do enough. According to the staff, the customer has only been to one Notch Top Bakery Cafe before this incident. I cannot pronounce her name. She posted a photo of the grateful staff and on the restaurant's Facebook page, which you should get rid of Facebook. But thank you, Koof Bandit, for the generous gift to our staff. It has touched many lives. So, like I said, I love ending on something positive. Let's see some of the chat, and let me get back on camera to end off the show. As Kay said, he's basically the guy, Momoto is basically a personal assistant. Mary Moto is a Kardashian. And then that's Clobber Times. Toxic masculinity. How dare he? Yeah. Yeah. So, like I said, this may be the deplatform stream. I don't want to take it down and repost because, like, stream this long, I'm not going to get any views anywhere near the watch time. I don't know if I can edit things out because I used a rather rude word that will probably haunt me for my days if I don't know how to edit it out of the stream. So I have to decide what I'll do. But that is neither here nor there. I actually have to play part of this song before I leave. I fucked that up. I had to restart the damn stream just to play a song. So before I go, I like ending on a positive news because people actually do good things for each other. People actually care about each other. And, there's actually positive things to talk about. My fucking mask looks more crooked than usual. It's always crooked, but it's Paulie makes fun of me for my crooked mask most of the time. And like I said, I will trade be a Vigilante Williamson if I could have a hot actress wife. But that's neither here nor there. I thank you all for watching Clobber Times, even though you got here late. I appreciate you showing up at all. Anthroparion, Rowan Ginger Raven, Slasher McSplitter, who made a long way, Jack of all casuals, Jake D, who left, did a stream and came back, Fenrir the Ice Wolf, who was there earlier, Eric K, Sentinel. I'm trying to get everybody I can think of. I feel like I'm missing somebody. If I'm missing, you blame my head, not my heart. Everybody, I was Latino Slam. I mentioned him earlier. Eric K. As I scroll up. And like I said, Fenrir, and anyone who watched the stream earlier that got canceled because I thought I doxed myself. We will see. I digress. If you've made it this long, please, if you haven't liked the video, please like the video. If you're so obliged to share, subscribe, please do so. If you have a feeling about anything that's happening in the show, let me know in the comments below. And even if you do none of these things, thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. God bless. I'm going to play the rest of my song that I almost doxed myself with this Joker avatar. Mute my mic and then end the stream. So thank you indeed for watching.
Same demons who overprice entrails, lobster like escargot. It snails until there's intel for stem cells. For incels, OnlyFans will always boom in sales. The line between love and hate is a thin veil. Tried to crack the code but got off track with rails. Had the view for JavaScript but not what it entails. For more than Twitter pictures and event sales from the so-called woke. Why I'm still broke. Lives would be tragic if it wasn't such a joke. Only one a black man dead, gay and selling dope. I'm doing the latter with beats and rhymes. Who wants smoke? Kicking the door, waving the Rick Mahorn on the system. Biggie Smalls, a bad boy, should be playing for the Pistons. Compare me to rappers, the saying that they spitting is like praying to Satan and saying you a Christian. Are you kidding? My flow is like a saying Armageddon. Classic like Genesis, so say it's the beginning. I would keep going, but the beat cut off in 5. No. 3, 2, 1.